Blackline Brief starts now.
What is up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Welcome to another episode of the Blackline Brief. I'm your host, Matthew McKim, and today we have a special guest returning, Matthew Tucciarone, the Turning Point Action Whistleblower. What is up, my friend? Oh, you're muted still.
What's up, everybody? Not much, brother. Just it's another day in paradise down here in Florida, you know, and I think we got a lot of good topics to bring everybody tonight.
Yeah, we sure do.
Sort of a spin-off of last episode we did. You know, I kind of left everybody with my prophetic dream that I had about Charlie Kirk, which led me into digging deeper into this whole spiritual warfare meaning and behind this psychological operation that's been plagued upon the American people and the globe. So I think everybody's going to appreciate a different perspective and a different way to look at all this, the 9/10/2025 situation, just a little bit different. So that's all I got for you right now. But yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree that like so much of what we've been doing is focusing on the physical, right? The people, the places, the things, what those that seem to be part of all this. Who are they? What part have they played in the months and years leading up to 9/10, on the day of, and then this horrible psyop and cover-up that's happened after since Charlie was assassinated. And there is definitely a major spiritual component to this because I believe it's all connected to Israel and the war in Iran. These were some of the major things that Charlie was talking about, which, I mean, I believe led to him being assassinated. And so today we'll be looking at that in closer detail. So if you guys would do me a favor, no matter where you're viewing this from, do Matt and I a solid and hit the like and the subscribe if you haven't done so already. It is the best way you can help support us for free. And we both appreciate it when you guys do that. So, yeah, I guess to kick things off, we can go straight to Jack Posobiec. Dude, so we were talking on and off all day about this. And one of the things that I was looking at even before we had kind of discussed what we were going to be looking at specifically tonight, I was going back and watching parts of the memorial that I hadn't watched before. Like I didn't watch Stacey Sheridan's speech or Benny Johnson's speech and Jack Posobiec. I had watched initially Erica Kirk and Tucker Carlson's. But whoa, dude, like right away, the messaging and the things that these people were saying is weird. And it tied right in when we did speak, you and me, Matt, today. I was like, no way, that's kind of what I'm seeing like right away at this, you know, of the event of the century, as they coined it. So why don't we start there? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
The Bible, we'll get there. Hold on, we'll get there. The Bible tells us that on his last day, Moses climbed to the top of the mountain and he looked across the River Jordan and he saw the promised land. He led the people there, but he did not cross himself, for he was taken and he died on that mountain. And he was brought to God's kingdom. On his last day, Charlie Kirk was on the top of a mountain. And Charlie Kirk led us there. And Charlie Kirk has brought us to the promised land. Charlie's death was not just a murder. The true word for what Charlie did is sacrifice. You see, the difference between murder and sacrifice is that sacrifice is a gift. Sacrifice is that last full measure of devotion for God, for country, and for his people, and for his family. Charlie Kirk died for all of you. And Charlie Kirk's gift of his sacrifice means that Charlie Kirk will live forever, not just for all of us, not just for his family and Erica and for his children, but for all future generations of Americans. And the question of our time: will Western civilization endure? Or will it fracture in two, like so many predict? Well, I say to you that a century from now, when they write of the 2 or 3 pivotal moments that led to the saving of Western civilization, they will write that the sacrifice of Charles James Kirk was the turning point.
The sacrifice of Charlie James Kirk. It gave me chills the first time I heard it, and it gave me chills once again. Ugh. Bro. Not just saying that, like, I don't know how else. Hopefully you guys saw this. Did you see what I'm talking about? The way he's saying it, he's not saying it like, he's saying like Charlie Kirk was sacrificed, in my opinion, not just like, I don't know. I'm losing my words right now, but you tell me what you heard.
No, that's in my opinion, that's exactly what I've heard as well. He was sacrificed, and that's what I've been digging into more deeply. I just want to let your viewers know, my viewers know, and our viewers on X, Matt, like this is something that nobody wants to talk about. Everybody wants to talk about the 30-06, the gun, the operations behind it, the political stuff, the surface level stuff. Nobody wants to talk about this subject. And I'm so glad that, you and I didn't even really plan this out.
No, we 100% didn't plan it.
Called each other and said, hey, I just found something, Matt. And then you're like, I just found something too. Because I know God wants us to talk about this, because it is a spiritual war, and he was sacrificed that day. He was sacrificed, and it has to do, he was sacrificed that day right on the menorah. 100%. This was a combination of one militaristic operation. That's the surface level stuff, everybody. We do need the surface level things to make this spiritual warfare also happen. It's all spiritual, it's ritualistic, and it was a sacrifice that day, and they sacrificed Charlie Kirk. They did.
100%, dude. It was like so much like 9/11. It's crazy that it ended up happening on the day before. And I need to do some more like deeper research onto like certain astrological bodies in, our solar system, and the timing of which 9/11 happened, because that was a massive, like, how many people ended up dying? Like that, was it there was thousands of people in the towers and in the planes collectively. It was like a couple thousand, right?
I think it was combined. It was like 3,000 people combined. Yeah. Between the planes, the innocent bystanders on the ground.
Yep.
Because pieces of the building, once the planes hit the towers, the planes, pieces, shrapnel, all that stuff started falling. When you throw a penny off the Empire State Building, you can kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? So all those innocent bystanders in total, yes, 3,000. Sorry, I just went off on a tangent.
No, you're good. 2,996.
Okay, so yeah, 3,000.
Yep, 3,000. And so what happened that day is so similar to what happened in how they prepare, how they plan and execute this like mass sacrifice. For Charlie, it was a singular sacrifice. It was him. But then they televise it because they want our collective trauma. They force us to watch it and along the way, kind of what we were talking about, how why has it been almost like Hansel and Gretel? They like leave breadcrumbs. They're kind of like almost showing their hand. And there's this thing within a cult, which is called revealing the method. There's a part of this with these people that have so much power. They're so evil and satanic that they have to show a little bit of what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how, like, in your face. And it's like there's nothing you can do about it. It's another way of showing just how much power and control and how evil they are. They're like, yeah, so what? What are you going to do?
Yep. That you know, you asked me on your last show 2 shows ago, why do I think it was a psyop? And I gave everybody a decent answer to that, but to elaborate on my answer of the spiritual warfare and that God's in control, etc. Well, he is in control, but spiritually, he knows that these people are doing satanic practices as well. So it's kind of a, we got God and then we got the satanic right here. Okay. We got good versus evil. God's allowing it to happen because they're being so sloppy, but they're being so prideful and so egotistical that they do have to show us what they're doing in order for their dark magic to work. And on the other side, we got God, and he's like, I need to allow this to happen because people like us are going to catch on and be able to disseminate this truthful information to the general public. And they have to tell us what they are doing in order for their dark magic to work. And you know what? Something I don't talk to people about a lot, Matt, but my involvement in Sedona, Arizona, I know it's the New Age capital of the world. I know that New Age has been hijacked and infiltrated, etc. And you brought up astrological positions, etc. Mm-hmm. Look, yes, God did give these tools for a specific reason, to understand, to go outside, to look up at the stars, to navigate, etc. Yes, that is very true. Astrology is 100% given to us by God, but these people deem it so bad for us. Don't look into it. It's evil. It's that. The church says it, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's because they're using it themselves for nefarious practices. And if we learned how to really use the tools that God gave us, that will also destroy them. And that's why it is important to start looking at below the surface of what's really going on here. I am a Christian, but I'm a Christian that walks the truth, that knows the truth, and knows that, yes, there is something to be said about the moon, the sun, and the stars. And they're using it against us.
Yeah. So, and I'm going to build on that real quick. So, God had initially not taught mankind these things, actually. He taught the angels. The angels knew this. And I pulled it up. We're going to look at it right now. And these fallen angels who perverted the knowledge for different reasons than the original meaning of them, then taught mankind their twisted version of these truths. And so we have it's called his name. I'm not going to be great at naming some of these names. I'm going to try my best. Barakiel revealed the secrets of astrology and how to read the stars. Kokabiel instructed mankind on the constellations. Ezekiel, not spelled like Ezekiel, it's like Ezekiel, imparted the knowledge of the clouds, creating the basis for meteorology and weather omens. Arakiel taught the signs of the earth, which became known as geomancy, divination by interpreting markings on the ground. And then Shamsiel taught the signs and cycles of the sun, and Sariel revealed the courses and phases of the moon. And so think if you remember what Candace Owens was, what she had brought up when talking about what's his name, Nimrod, and you know how Hillary Clinton was looking for the tomb and the body of Nimrod. They believe that they're descendants from the fallen angels, right? They believe in these secret bloodlines, these secret families, and they believe they have secret knowledge that has been imparted to them literally from these fallen angels. And with that, I don't want to get ahead of myself. So the next part that we were going to talk about was, I think, why do we think he was sacrificed, Charlie Kirk? And what are the reasons for the sacrifice at that time, and then also going forward, right? And who might be part of that?
Right.
Okay. You want to go?
So, well, like I said, I had that prophetic dream about Charlie. He came to me in my dream, and it led me to have a couple sleepless nights. And I was up last night until about 4 o'clock in the morning listening to somebody that I know that certain influencers know as well. I'm not going to reveal this person, but this person was abused by their father at a young age, had a very interesting family background. Mother was very involved with the Democrats politically, etc. This individual has a bloodline through the mother, which is what a lot of people at Bohemian Grove really sought after in this young individual at about 14 years old. This father of this young individual wanted so bad to be part of the Bohemian Grove Society, etc. And he was not allowed in because of specific bloodlines. Okay. His son, because of who his mother is, had the bloodline. So he was able, the father, to go into Bohemian Grove with the son to pretty much whore out this individual. Because I don't mean sexually, I'm talking about biblically, whore out this individual. And they tried to test this young man at a young age in Bohemian Grove to see if he could be controlled and used. Okay. So the reason why I went to him the other night was because he knows so much about religion, so much about the satanic rituals, the practices. This person is a Christian. They could not control him at all. Okay. And we dived deep into the similarities of the Catholic Church and the Church of Satan. Now, what I'm about to bring up, don't think I'm going to completely diss the Catholic Church, but you all know that the Church of Satan is an inversion of the Catholic Church. And if you look closely, both religions have an altar. There's a lot of religions that don't use altars, okay? But the Catholic Church and the Church of Satan both use altars. And I think, Matt, we can do you want me to keep going, or do you want to play into what Candace Owens brought up this week?
Yeah, I'll play that. And I just want to point out a couple of things, right? So the Satanic Mass is literally as well an inversion of Catholic Mass, right? Everything that the church, the Catholic Church established as part of their liturgy and their practices, which is, I believe, was ordained by God through the rock Peter, right? Through you, I will build my church, Peter. And this Satan and his demons can't create anything. Okay. But they distort everything, pervert everything. That which God uses for good, they take and spin and use for evil. And so we only bring up the Catholic Church because the Church of Satan is this upside down black reflection of God's, original design for the church, right? So Satan perverted it and has made this mockery of what God gave to us, which is holy. All right. And don't forget, is it David Vallely? Was that the guy's name with Michael?
Paul Vallely.
Paul Vallely and Michael Aquino. And Paul Vallely was a member, might still be a member of the board of directors, or I forget the actual council that he's on. I looked it up the other night. But Michael Aquino is a really sick and twisted individual that was in the Army intelligence and also founded I think it was the Temple of Set, right?
Temple of Set, yes, which is an offshoot of the Church of Satan. Michael Aquino and Paul Vallely co-authored the book. I think it was Psychological Operations and Mind Wars.
Yes.
Back in the 1980s. Okay. Paul Vallely sits on the advisory council. Guess what? For TPUSA.
You can't not draw these connections. Then think of Victor Marx, right? Victor Marx, who believes that he can speak directly to demons and control them, doing retooling on people, which Charlie, the last time they tried to retool him, he said, nah, I'm good. Erica Kirk remained close with Victor this whole time, even when Charlie clearly was having questions, doubts, and concerns about him. And you can't say that he wasn't, or else why wouldn't he have just allowed Victor Marx to retool him again? Obviously, whatever he experienced during that first retooling did not give him a good feeling, and he didn't want that to happen again. Erica Kirk stayed and is very close with Victor Marx. I mean, it's even crazy. Have you the side-by-side photos of them? They look,
I know.
She looks like his daughter. I don't know what to do with that. She looks like his daughter. And, he's the first one at the time to tweet out the time of death. And he's there taking pictures with her, which are totally staged because you don't hug someone at an angle directly facing the photographer. But this guy, in my opinion, is straight up demonic and evil. And all of these people that remain at TPUSA and people that she has connections with, for whatever reason, are really, really, really demonic and evil. And now we'll go to Candace Owens and how she was bringing up valid questions about, was Charlie Kirk Catholic? Did he convert before his death? Did he have a Catholic burial? Is he buried at a Catholic cemetery? Was he cremated? Why can't they answer these? What would be the harm in just confirming or denying? No, I know that Andrew has denied that he converted to Catholicism. Erica hasn't touched on that. I mean, I don't want to hear from the liar's mouth any more lies that he spins as truth. I would like to know directly from Erica, and she has no problem telling us that she's going to make this spectacular, museum style memorial that people could come to. She can take a video of her in the casket and do all these other things that cross this line of the public and within a personal space of Charlie, but she can't answer these questions. All right. Sorry. I didn't mean to go on too long.
No, that's great.
Let's go to Candace.
A new sensitivity, I might add, because as we showed you a couple of days ago, actually, if you roll back the tape, they were initially very open about Charlie's body. So to recap, on September 10th, at some point in the early afternoon, I think I have said to you guys in the past that it was Stacey Sheridan, but I've actually been told that it was allegedly Elizabeth McCoy that was recording Erica in Charlie's open casket in Utah.
Oh.
That's September 11th, midday-ish. And then at 5:27 p.m. later that day in Arizona, local time, the local news station, Sky News, reported openly, so we're not breaking this news, that Charlie was headed to Hanson Mortuary in Phoenix. I'm going to show you that clip here.
So if you are just joining us here on streaming, it is 5:27 Phoenix time, about an hour ago. Air Force Two landed at Sky Harbor Airport, which is the Phoenix Metro's main airport here, with the body of Charlie Kirk, his family, and the vice president.
And as we are giving you a live look here from Sky 12, we can see that motorcade come around the bend here. And clearly you can see the law enforcement has cleared the way for this procession. And it looks like that the white hearse is possibly in the front there. It's kind of hard to see, but, you know, obviously making its way from the freeway to the streets and ending up at Hanson Mortuary.
Okay, so that was reported. Everyone knew where he was going. They saw what time he landed and that he was heading to Hanson Mortuary in Phoenix. On September 12th, okay, so the day after that, Charlie is back in Phoenix at Hanson Mortuary, and Erica moves to post the footage that Elizabeth actually captured the day before in Utah. She moves to post that footage of her lying over Charlie's open casket onto social media. Again, it is relevant that footage was actually captured the day before, because if you were taken in Phoenix, but it was not.
Sorry. The reason why I freaked out just now was the last time I did a video where I was covering this with Erica in the casket, my video got dinged and they like totally took it down. I forgot that she was going to play that part, but I mean, she played it. So I mean, like, I'm just playing her video of her playing it. Hopefully it doesn't do anything. I'm going to keep playing it because we have to.
And I also want to note that is an open casket that you're seeing in Utah. Fast forwarding to September 20th at around 11 o'clock a.m., Charlie is no longer at Hanson. He is now having a Catholic funeral mass that is held at a Catholic church that Charlie regularly attends. And this is in the middle of the day. And so immediately you should be asking yourself, why the change? Why the change? The mass was not hidden from the public. Okay. It obviously was not open to the public, but it was not hidden from the public, as it occurred at the same time as mass was going on for local parishioners. They observed the hearse. They exactly what the news was reporting. They observed that. But like I said, it wasn't open to the public. So this was not something they were trying to keep super hush hush. The question that's relevant here is, why would you go from Hanson to now Catholic? Okay, this represents a total sea change in narrative. Lest we forget, there was an entire Mockingbird campaign which was launched to attack me after I publicly asserted that there were rumblings that Charlie was close to converting, that we were hoping that he would. Catholics were hoping that he would. It was a conversation that was happening even between me and Charlie, like, take the next step, take the next step. And this just set them off. It was something that was a high priority in the immediate aftermath of Charlie's assassination for Turning Point to come out and to clarify. And by clarify, I mean to shut that down. Like, this is not true. Okay. It was a high priority, so much so that their spokesperson, Andrew Colvett, joined Alex Clark's show and took down that insinuation. And I want you to take a listen.
All right. We don't need to listen to that part where he just says what he says about it. Okay. Do you want me to keep playing this? She goes on a little bit more.
No, I mean,
or do you think we have enough?
I think we have enough.
Okay.
Like, look, Charlie Kirk, Erica, even before Charlie died, was trying to get him into the Catholic Church. They were going to Catholic Mass, etc. Okay. Candace goes in further, is like, well, why would Charlie convert to Catholicism? Well, we all know that it's because Erica Kirk's behind it. They even had a Catholic priest come to Utah into the hospital as well with Erica Kirk. So and people are saying Charlie was not Catholic. Charlie was not Catholic. Well, here's the thing. Ask yourselves, why would Erica Kirk have a Catholic priest fly in with her to Utah to go to the hospital? Well, here's the thing. And this is what a person sent me, and I'm going to tell you, you can convert to Catholicism on your deathbed, and you don't even need to be conscious of it. His heart, according to Brian Harpole, was still beating in the hospital.
Yep.
So,
well, and the medical staff said the same thing. They were able to get his heart started again. So,
yep.
I mean, even they confirmed that.
Yes. So, being the widow, all she has to do is have the priest come on in, take the thing of holy water, you know, guys, the wand when they go down the pews and they do this and they bless us all with holy water. I'm Catholic. I know this. All right. Sprinkle a little bit of holy water for baptism. Charlie Kirk's heart is still beating. He says his final testament, the priest, and boom. Therefore, you can have a Catholic burial. You are Catholic at that point. And this individual who had connections to the Bohemian Grove, this is what was sent to me tonight before the show to help me present this to you all, because this is a topic that's really hard to present. One, it makes me nervous that I'm talking about this, because we are now what I'm doing is I am attacking them back now.
Right.
And I'm calling out their BS and their mockery of Jesus Christ and the Catholic Church. So this is what this individual sent to me. The fact Charlie's heart was still beating at the hospital, and depending on how long, was long enough to get a priest, then confirmation sacrament and last rites can be speed run if there was acknowledgement by the person previous that they desired Jesus as their savior, God as their creator, the Holy Trinity, and a desire to enter the church. Desire can be considered as them merely attending Mass. So therefore, as Erica kept bringing Charlie to Mass, to Catholic Mass on Sundays, the desire was there. So therefore, legally, through the Catholic Church, they did have every right, because Charlie may have been swindled into all of this before he died, every right to convert him.
Well, and let me just say too that, sorry, my throat. Let me just say this, that
am I yelling? I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're not. My wife was right.
Gosh.
I love you, sweetie. I needed the tea. That I think, okay, because here's a couple things. We know that Erica Kirk was a cradle Catholic. All right. However, we can totally see that she is more Zionist than anyone, and she has not on her own partnered with any Catholic priests or churches after the assassination. TPUSA Faith is an evangelical Protestant, mainly Calvary Chapel, and non-denominational movement for Turning Point. But that I think it could be a combination of lots of things. I actually do think too that Charlie was considering and was in the process of converting on his own. But I also think that Erica was pushing him in that direction for this reason, for this. Just everything else we know or we believe, but that we have good reason to know or believe it, that Erica would do things that in the end led to where we're at now, that Charlie wouldn't have seen this ulterior motive at play, especially if he had already initiated this process, because I think, like lots of us, we've woken up to this whole disgusting relationship with, Christian Zionism and Judeo-Christianity and the political elite in Israel, right? Bibi and the Likud party and all of them. And so I think that Charlie was becoming aware of this inside TPUSA Faith and in his organization, and wanted to distance himself. We know he had a falling out with Rob McCoy and probably a couple others as well. So I just wanted to say that I do think that he probably was already initiating this process on his own, but that Erica would have totally been pushing him in this direction as well for this reason. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So further, this individual said to me, last night. If Charlie was given last rites, it means he was certified Catholic, and it means if deemed martyred for his Christian evangelical religious beliefs, then he is with an exception to be deemed a saint. This may get reinforced by witnessed and confirmed miracles attributed to the Holy Spirit working through him, confirming his anointing by God. All right. So, Matt, I think this leads into the next. I think I actually just jumped and got a little ahead of myself by reading this text, but this is where we're heading, y'all. Where do we want to start? Do we want to play the Trump thing first, or do we? I think, and then we can go into what the ballroom was set up.
Oh, I like
for.
how you said that. BAAL.
Yep.
The ballroom.
Ballroom.
Yes. All right. Here we go. Let me back it up. Oh my goodness. There we go.
My condolences to you, sir. My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty. It'll be an absolutely magnificent structure. And I just see all the trucks. We just started, so it'll get done very nicely, and it'll be one of the best anywhere in the world, actually. Thank you very much.
Hold on. Let's play that one more time because of how quickly he goes from the question. And yeah, let me play it again, and then I'll say what I got to say. Just watch.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there.
I think very good. And by the way, right there. That's as much as he's, I think very good. That's all he said about Charlie Kirk and how he's holding up. I think very good. And then he goes right into pointing out, and the rest of the whole thing is about the ballroom. And I was talking to Matt about this, and I'll let you go in a second. I'm just going to say this. When we use words to describe things in the physical world, our brain will naturally imagine those things, right? And so for Trump being asked about Charlie Kirk, his death, and I mean his dead body, right? It's about his death, and in this context, at this time, Charlie's dead. Then he immediately, for some reason, there's a connection for Trump with the ballroom and Charlie Kirk and his dead body. In my opinion, that he was able to jump to that so quick. Go ahead, Matt.
Right. Well, y'all, this is where it might get a little dark for people, but you know what? This is the truth. The truth is dark at times. Okay. It's not full of butterflies, the truth. Okay. It can be dark.
Well, and this is our theory, right? It's a theory. It's our opinion that we believe. So, I mean, we're not saying that we have evidence of this, but go ahead. I just want to put that out.
I mean, because what prompted me was Candace Owens left it an open-ended question, like why Catholicism? Why the Catholic Church? Why was the priest involved? She never really elaborated last week. And I think because Candace obviously knows how to prime her viewers, prime certain individuals in this investigation to go dig a little bit deeper.
Oh, for sure.
Instead of her just saying, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. Like, that's why I get so mad when people say, you know, like, oh, you just listen to Candace Owens. I'm like, no, I listen, and then I go dig deeper, and I validate what she's saying. So off that tangent, okay, so we have the Catholic Church is involved. We have the priest coming with Erica to the hospital, okay? We don't know where the body's buried. We got crazy Gary Meltdown out there and Graham Allen talking about, oh, well, his body could have been dug up in the cemetery. It could have been defaced and all this. And do you know what it takes, first of all, Graham Allen, to dig up a body 6 feet under? You need machinery, dude.
Do you know how heavy
you're
a
going to get caught. All
Yeah.
right. So we have all these TPUSA paid shills causing chaos to pull us away from the question of why Catholicism, why the priest. Well, here's why. the Church of Satan, the Catholic Church, like I said, you have altars, okay? You have your altars for the Catholic Church, the Church of Satan. And in those altars, what do you have in an altar? Well, you have relics, you have artifacts. Well, what did we see in Mar-a-Lago during a donor party that TPUSA threw $10,000 a plate? What was in the main lobby area of Trump's Mar-a-Lago house? Oh, the relic, the microphone. The microphone. And in order to be a relic, a person needs to have touched it. So it's Charlie Kirk's relic. It's a piece of his body because he touched it before he was deceased.
They even said there was blood on it too.
And there's blood, exactly. Blood sacrifice, everybody. Blood. There's blood on it. Charlie Kirk touched it. Therefore, they do their dark magic. You have a little bit of Charlie's soul and essence into that relic as well.
And same with the necklace that Erica Kirk touts out and touts around. I don't think that's the real one. Okay. I think that symbolizes wherever the real one is. Okay.
Right.
They're not going to use the real one to show to everyone. That's going to be used for like something like this.
Now, moving on to an artifact. An artifact in the Catholic Church can be a body, a thing. And what's the question? Where is Charlie Kirk's body? Where is he buried? Why was he flown on Air Force Two? They could have taken him to Phoenix. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't.
Political figures fly on Air Force Two. Charlie wasn't fully a political figure. He was a political activist. Okay. An artifact for the Catholic Church is something that it's a dead body. Okay.
Or even just bones, right?
Or
does it
bones.
have to be the whole thing? It could be
Doesn't
parts,
need
right?
to be the whole thing. It could be an arm. It could be a limb, etc. An artifact, if we're going to use an artifact for the altar for the Catholic Church or the Church of Satan, it has to be a piece of the body or the body, but the body has to be dead. Okay. That can be placed underneath the altar. It can be placed inside the altar, inside the stone. That's why the Catholic Church's stone on the altar represents a live stone of Christ. All right. The temple where Jesus was buried, that's supposed to represent, it's an artifact that's supposed to represent the body of Christ. Okay. Now, think about it. He's flown on Air Force Two. We don't know where the body is. We have this mannequin doll in the casket.
Yeah.
With Eric. I mean, that's what it was. I'm sorry. It's not a dead body.
I was against that at first, but like the more that, especially after this last week, when we realized that they had a mock burial, no one else got to see inside the casket. The casket didn't get lowered into the ground. Now I do believe that it most likely was some sort of fake body, and that's why she was recording it with, now I think Candace said what Elizabeth McCoy, not Stacey Sheridan, to make us believe that the body's in there. Like she really wanted to sell us that the body, Charlie's body, is in there.
Yes, again, because it's a ritual. They're psychologically it's a psyop on the American people, and it's a ritual at the same time. So they're trying to control our minds through this mind war counter programming techniques, and then they're also showing it in front of our faces so that they can do this ritual for their dark magic. So flown on Air Force Two, interesting. The next day, Trump's out there saying, well, you know what? I'm doing just fine, but over here, the construction of the ballroom is happening. Now, this individual that I talked to last night, okay, and this is all starting to make sense. That ballroom is one, in my honest opinion, giant altar. Charlie went against everything that the synagogue of Satan was setting him up to be. Therefore, they needed to sacrifice him. They needed to hide the body. Trump's creating a ballroom. I can't believe I'm saying this right now. But you know what? This is what needs to be heard, because this is where we're heading. This is what exactly is going on right now.
Yep.
And he just mocked everybody on the White House lawn about the ballroom, mocked Charlie's death right in front of us. And this is all a sick, sadistic, satanic ritual right before us. Charlie Kirk was sacrificed on the menorah right at UVU in Salt Lake City, Utah, Provo, wherever you want to call it, Salt Lake City area. Okay. The body's missing. The Catholic Church is involved. And what Erica Kirk is doing is using the Catholic Church, because they're still mocking God and mocking the Catholic Church. And the keys to the Catholic Church and to the Vatican are still in the wrong hands today.
Yeah. I mean, like, and the Catholic Church is involved in the way that like Erica Kirk is using them, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And manipulating for this secret, dark, occult, satanic agenda. And think about this, guys. By its very nature, the Catholic Church is anti-Zionism. Okay. So, and the church also represents Rome, as we do, to these diehard, non-religious Jews over in, you know, like BB and them, right? They're not religious. They're not religious Jews, right? They're atheists. It's a political movement that they are a part of. And he was reading that book. I forget what it was called, something about Rome. And he goes, never again. And in another speech, he says that, you know, America represents the new Rome, but also the Vatican and the Catholic Church also still actually represent Rome. That's what is left of Rome, really. And that would be one of the biggest things that you would want to tear down, you would want to destroy, if this new future that you're envisioning with the Greater Israel Project, this new global paradigm, this new world order, you can't have this really powerful and wealthy and far-reaching religious institution out there that could ever have the ability to, you know, thwart what you're doing. And I do believe that people like, you know, Erica Kirk and those connected to her, they say nothing positive about Catholics, about the Catholic Church, and about the theology of the Catholic Church. And so I definitely think that would be part of their plan, is to destroy it and to make it, to pervert what it's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, I'm gonna there's my chat's going crazy right now, of course.
Okay.
I'm
read
dropping
some
facts. Well, no, I just kind of want to like, one person just said, I'm not going to call them out in front of people. If they want to go look at the chat, they can. You know, how can Trump be Luciferian if Luciferian people are attacking him? Here's the thing. You all need to go watch you all need to watch a documentary. It will come to the top of my head soon. But it's about the white and black checkered board on the Masonic Lodge.
Yeah.
You have the white hats. Want to know where the white hats came from and the black hats? QAnoners out there that still believe that Trump is playing 5D chess. Well, he is playing chess, but it's the Masonic. It's at the Masonic level, everybody. Yeah. You got the white who pretends to be good. Then you got the plain out black part of the chessboard, which is bad. Okay. Mm-hmm. But the white part is masking themselves as they're good. Mm-hmm. So we have the black hats attacking the white hats on the checkerboard. And all that is for a show, because the white and the black together make up the whole entire ritual.
Correct.
I want people to stop with this Trump is going to save us nonsense. I'm sorry. And I will say that to some of the people in my chat.
Yeah.
Stop with the Trump is going to save us.
Yeah, make sense of this for me. He's asked about an individual, Charlie Kirk, that supposedly was a dear friend. He was supposedly really close with Don Jr. and Barron. That's what that one reporter wrote the book that Andrew Kolvich's had on his show the other day, saying that Barron was so distraught by all this that President Trump had to like call and like console him in the hours after the assassination, that the whole White House was so distraught by all this. It was a very somber scene there at the White House. JD Vance didn't even remember what the day was that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. When on the stage with Andrew Colvett in Georgia, he goes, that one day back in September. Andrew goes, you mean 9/10? And he goes, oh yeah, that's right. It was the day before 9/11. Trump is asked just when was that? Let me see. When did that air? Hold on. This was that statement by Trump. When was this? This is literally on September 11th, you guys, when Trump said this, this that we just played, that is literally 24 or less than 24 hours after the assassination. And Trump doesn't even say like more than 3 words, longer than 3 seconds before he moves on and starts talking about the ballroom. I'm sorry, you don't care about someone deeply and are very close with them and respect them and love them as a friend, that you would go, yeah, I'm doing good. I think I'm doing pretty good. The ballroom though, let's, that's like Pam Bondi with the Jeffy Epi thing, the Dow. Well, why can't you talk about all the winning we're doing? Stop talking about all the crimes. Let's talk about the winning. You can't tell me that these people aren't evil. Look right at everything. Trump is not he's not a savior. That's for sure. No. So I agree. Sorry, no. I agree with you.
No. And look, I don't mean to get loud about this, or I'm not trying to sensationalize anything right now. It's just that, I delved into this way before I came out as a whistleblower for TP Action and TP USA. This is some of the deep level stuff that I've dug into, that Stu Peters has dug into. Thank you to Stu Peters for sending me on this journey in 2021 when I stumbled across his Rumble channel and then found out other things and spiritual things that are happening in this country. And I didn't really want to talk about that throughout the years until, you killed my former CEO of Turning Point USA right in front of us. And now you're brazen enough to do that to the American people. Well, I'm brazen enough to mock you right back, you sick PDF POSs. I'm done. I've had enough. I'm not sensationalizing anything. Essentially, the truth is dark. The truth shall set all of us free.
Yep.
And whatever you want to think about what the ballroom is, whether it's an altar, whether it's just the ballroom, they're using ball. And he says it just like that. You can't deny it. You can't deny it. And it's my opinion, and I actually don't even fully want to say it is an altar, and this is exactly what they did with Charlie's body, etc. They're hiding it underneath and all that. But it's something that I was asked to look into through the Holy Spirit, and I did. And I'm telling you, I trust this person's judgment who I was on the phone with for a very, very long time. And this person knows a couple of the influencers, including Candace Owens as well. So you know what? I trust this person's judgment and the mentoring that I got last night.
Yeah, and it's not like it has to be an either or, right? The ballroom, like it's a multi-purpose room is how I look at it, right? That and we don't even know how big it is, right? We don't know how far down it goes. There's been some plans, the plans that do get released. Do you really think that they're going to show you everything? They're going to show you everything. There's like a war room. There's all of these aspects to it that, yeah, okay, they're going to show us some of the things, but you better believe that there is like a skiff down there, that there's classified portions of this ballroom that they're not going to show. They're going to show this to the world so that our enemies and our adversaries can see it, or even, you know, yeah, I believe that if this is true, it's not that that's all it is. Okay. It's that a portion, a part of it has been made to, yeah, be this like altar, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And can I just say, for those of you who want to learn more about the chessboard that I was talking about,
yeah,
I'm gonna Mystic. I know you're out there. I know you're modding both on Matt's channel and my channel right now. And I want to give a shout out. I got a lot of people in my chat tonight for once, and I'm really happy to see you all there. I see a lot of people from TikTok. You guys are with me. You found it. You
That's
came
so
from
cool.
TikTok to my channel. I just want to say thank you all for coming over. Mystic, I'm going to send you the link to the Rumble channel. It's got the whole chessboard. It's a documentary that I think people really need to watch. And that's where, that's another reason why I want to share that. So if Mystic, if you want to throw that into both of the chats, I greatly appreciate it for everybody to watch.
Yes, please do that. And so if you guys have heard of the as above, so below, right? They have to show like two sides of the same coin, the white and the black, right? You have the masculine and the feminine, right? These are opposites that for them, they would never allow one area to not be controlled by them. And so even like, I totally believe that the space where we believe we're being led by good people, like the white hats, there's no way that they're just going to leave that to us. Okay, they're gonna you know, put their own people in that place and control the information that the black hats and the white hats are disseminating to the public. They have to have a full spectrum control of the information, and so. Yeah, I mean, 100%. The white and black checkerboard or chessboard. Sorry, is
yeah. So, you know, I hope that wasn't too heavy for our viewers, Matt. But it's just this needs, no one's talking about this, and this is what's going on beneath the surface. When you look at the overall picture, yes, the 30-06, the gun, Tyler Robinson. The rooftop, it's all important. Don't get me wrong. But that's not why we're here.
No, the deeper.
It isn't. And I really felt the need to get this off my chest, Matt, to people. And I hope I hope people have received this information. Do not take it for 100%, you all. I'm just giving you a perspective of like, the ties, the spiritual warfare aspect, and just watching this and myself being involved in politics and knowing what these sick people are capable of and being around these individuals at parties and the sick crap that goes on at these after parties, like at TPUSA. They also, you want to know why people ask, like, why is TPUSA always caught in these sexual scandals and why are they so sexualized and all that? Well, sex is a big component of dark magic.
Yep. And control. So control, manipulation, and there is a thing that is, you know, sex magic. So I just want to read a couple things because we're not being completely our community's in agreement. I'll read. Okay. So let me say thank you to Chandra D. I don't know. I'm so bad at this. Or Chandrad. Thank you for becoming a member. Finding Peace. Thank you for the jewels. And Don Rains, thank you for the jewels. Okay, here we go. Ann Young, we need to stop giving these demons our energy. The demons need our energy to survive. They want our hate and attention to survive, keeping our energy on the truth and stop giving them any energy. Yes. So at least I could speak for me and Matt, because me and Matt have we've spoken about this offline. We are unmasking the demon as well, though. Okay, there is a point to this where we need to disseminate what we believe is the truth. This, we wage not with flesh and blood, right? And so as of right now, the majority of the investigation has been focused on the flesh and blood, the physical realm, like who did it, how they did it, where they did it, and like who's connected. But there's a whole nother component to this, which is the why, right? The deeper why, which is this spiritual warfare, this demonic component. And it's important for us to let people know that, at least in our opinion, this is our opinion. We're not stating these as facts. But we both have looked into this in different angles and are coming to the same conclusion that, like, Trump and Bibi, I mean, think of what Bibi's doing, right? And Trump's kind of doing the same thing, but over here, right? That this is a spiritual battle being waged against us, a Christian nation, that they want to destroy and control all of us. Okay. And so we're just bringing that to you guys. Janie Bakes, thank you for becoming a member. Rooted Mountain Life, thank you for becoming a member. Here we go. So Lauren, the mortician, just released a video explaining the timeline she considers very plausible. I asked you in the chat, I wrote it when you initially wrote this super chat in. If you can email me the video, I'd love to pull it up. If you can email me that video of Lauren the mortician. And then thank you for the jewels. Here we go. Erica Francevay, thank you. Always be true, by the way. Thank you. Erica Francevay was already away from the Catholic Church talking smack on Calvary Chapel podcast. So how come, as Kirk, she was now attending Mass? What happened there? TPUSA faith is not Catholic. Correct. It's not Catholic. Do you want to answer some of this, or do you want me?
Yeah. So how come Kirk, she was now attending Mass? What happened to you? It's not Catholic. Yeah, TPUSA faith. I mean, yeah, we all know that TPUSA faith has got the mega churches and the Rob McCoys and all that crap, the Dana Lashes, etc. But the TPUSA faith also invited in, like, Mormons. They invited in Catholics. They invited in Jews. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, TPUSA faith, that arm is just about, well, we know what it's really about, but it's about, on the way they manipulate us is everybody's welcome. Okay, so
for a price.
Did I answer that question right? I mean,
yeah, I'll help too, right? We're not saying that Erica Kirk is Catholic. That's not what we're saying. We're not saying that she was genuinely going to Mass for proper reasons, right? We know that she was cradle Catholic, but she's been Protestant for a long time, and an evangelical Protestant. We believe that she was using priests to get things that she wanted, right? She needed Charlie to be baptized and blessed and consecrated before his heart stopped beating, so that he could be considered to be a martyr and a relic for the inversion of the Catholic Church, the inversion of the Catholic Mass, to be for that to be successful, or for it to be possible. So that she was using them, right? Because yeah, I think I answered it that way.
Yeah, no, you did. You answered it pretty better than I did. I tend to stay away from the religious topics and everything because it's so convoluted. Everybody has their own opinions on religion. You're not going to agree with me about the altar. You're not going to agree with me about my viewpoints on Christianity. It's convoluted for a reason, because the devil wants it convoluted for all of us. All right. So I do tend to stay away from the religious topics, but tonight I felt the need to bring it up with you, Matt, because you don't have such a prophetic dream for no reason. Like, I had to ask God and the Holy Spirit, why did Charlie come to me in a dream? And I had to dig deeper. And I know I mentioned this on your show the other night. I said to everybody, well, Charlie said he's still here he's not here, but he's still here for the mission.
Right.
and then he went into his goofy playing self mode that like you've all seen with him and Candace dancing, and that's Charlie. He was just he was a goofy dude, but funny and wanted to laugh and wanted to have a good time. And I think the message of that dream was like we also have to laugh a little bit too, and not be so serious. But tonight was a little serious. I had to get it off my chest because I don't usually sit up on the phone until 4 o'clock in the morning with somebody unless it's really important. And I felt that it was an important conversation to have with somebody, especially somebody who's been involved with a place like Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say one more thing that this person said. I would expect that there have been strings pulled behind the scenes where an investigative priest has been collecting data this last year in order to make an announcement at the anniversary. Now, this is not fact. This is this person's opinion, but who knows? Maybe it will come out that there was a conversion from Charlie to Catholicism. We don't know, but the anniversary is around the corner. And this individual thinks that on the anniversary as well, whether it's year 1 anniversary, 2 or 3, they're going to pull some crazy crap.
Yeah.
Whether we see it on the surface or whether it's behind the scenes. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
No, you're good. And so it struck me. So, Renita, I'm going to read your thing in a second. When you were talking about Charlie being playful and innocent in your dream, that reminded me of the scriptures, right? That in Matthew 18:3 verse 4, assuredly I say to you, unless you are converted and become as little children, you will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever humbles himself as this little child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Mark 10:14 through 15. Let the little children come to me and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these. And they go on, like Luke 18:16 echoes the same exact same account as Mark, emphasizing that we must receive God's kingdom with the posture of a young child. And it kind of reminded me of those verses when, Charlie was being, an innocent, humble, playful in that part of your dream, especially because he's in heaven right now, So,
yeah.
All right, Renita, it says, please pray before proceeding with the next part. We did before we started this. I prayed for sure. This was not going to be a small thing to go into tonight. Zamet, thank you so much. Trump mockery. Yeah, see, we agree. Zamet again. What is the CJ? Oh, Charles James Kirk. Sorry. And Kennedy 2.0, JFK was Catholic. Correct. And that was that's what I was going to say earlier. One of the critiques of anyone that believes that Charlie was assassinated by parts of our government, our intel agencies in Israel is, well, why? And Graham said this, Gary and others have said this. Why would they do it in the public? Why would they do it this way? Why wouldn't they just cut his brakes or poison him or something not in front of anyone? Well, look at all the different assassinations that have happened. You have Teddy Kennedy, right? JFK, Martin Luther King, and Charlie. They have to do these things in front of us as part of their satanic ritual and sacrifice, is to do it in front of us and cause collective trauma and grief. It's part of how sick it is.
Yeah.
Always be true. Trump as Jesus in Truth Social post was actually a tarot card, the magician. Correct. He didn't swear on the Bible, you guys. Do you remember that? He did not swear in on the Bible. Do you remember what he did swear in on? Or did he just lift his right hand?
I believe he just lift his right hand.
I'm gonna Google it right now. Let's see what it was, because I know it wasn't the Bible. I remember that much. during the inauguration as the 47th President of the United States on January 20th, 2025, used two Bibles, his childhood Bible and the historic Lincoln Bible. No, that's not right. Of course, you're going to give me this BS. All right, I'll dive deeper into that later. Freaking Google. Never believe the first response that any of these AI things give to you. You have to push back. They are gatekeeping information 100%. Rooted Mountain Life. First ever membership and super chat, praying for everyone's safety, willing to speak out against the darkness. Christ is King. Thank you so much. Yeah, 100%. That's why we're here. Zamit, they have been mooning us since 11/22/1963. Yep, since JFK. Yep. Kathy Friends, my new favorite place to be. Congratulations, Matt. Thanks, gentlemen. Which Matt? That is hard.
No.
I mean, Mystic and I were talking. So your nickname for us is Tucci, and I'm
Tucci.
Matt. I think I'm Maddie. She couldn't come up with a better one. People have called me Maddie before. My older brothers used to call me Maddie. Let's see. Did I do that one? Trump. Oh, you were same wavelength. Trump did not put his hand on a Bible at inauguration. I know he didn't. That's why Google just lied to us, man. Zamit.
Tucker Carlson, I love Jesus Christ 208 in the chat said, Tucker said he didn't touch the Bible. So.
Oh, so they got it out. The Bible was out, but he didn't put his hand on it. He
didn't put his hand on it.
Yeah, or he just went like that and it was in front of him.
He just went like this, and did not touch it.
Yeah, that's, and he himself, do you guys remember when he was like, he doesn't think he's going to get into heaven? He said that. He said he doesn't think he'll make it into heaven. Okay, what Christian, well, Erica Kirk said this too once. She said something like I hope, she said something about her maybe going to heaven, or I hope when I get to heaven, or if I get to heaven, or something like that. But real Christians, right? In any denomination that, you've accepted Christ into your heart as your Lord and Savior, and you believe that his blood was atonement and it was fully paid for our sins. You put faith in him, you have eternal life. There's no question. There's no maybe. There's no, well, it's assurance. And so to me, people like Trump that have doubt, I mean, that speaks volumes. I also don't think he's Christian at all. I think he really is the first Jewish president. Time to bring back The Exorcist. Trump's attitude regarding Charlie Kirk is unacceptable. Yeah, it's insane. Insane.
It's sickening.
It's Satanism thrives in immorality. Yep. And then 10 Joules. Thank you, Common Sense Collective. There's a person on X, Common Sense something. I don't know if it's you, but it's a totally different profile photo. So I don't know. It may be someone different. But thank you so much for the 10 or the 30 Joules. Okay. All right. Let's move on. I want to share this with you guys. All right. This is still in the same vein. There's a couple. So let me just set this up for you guys. And then you let me know, Matt, what else you want to share. You can text me or just tell me if you have other things that you want to bring up.
Yeah, Matt, I'm going to blank my screen real quick.
Yeah, I can remove you.
I zen and I don't want to put this in front of everybody. So
okay, I'll let you do it. Go ahead. Okay, so in preparation, not just for today's show, because like Matt said, we did not pre-plan this this show. I'm gonna mute his mic. There we go. All right. We didn't pre-plan the show. I was working on something for tonight's show. Like I had invited him on. He's like, yes, I'll come on. I was working on my own things. And then Matt was working on his own things, especially after his conversation with that individual last night. We spoke this morning and we were telling each other what we had independently been working on. And it literally just went together. And so to us, that was confirmation in our opinion. Okay. I never watched the entire memorial at the time. I watched Tucker Carlson. I watched Erica Kirk. Let me see. Let me make sure I unmute you because I muted you. Wait, hold on. There we go. You're unmuted. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Sweet.
I didn't watch the entire memorial. I watched, like I said, Tucker and Erica, and I think I'd watched parts of Andrew and parts of either Trump or JD. But so this morning I was watching Stacey Sheridan, Justin Strive, Benny Johnson, and Jack Posobiec. And so right now, because we've never heard from Stacey Sheridan since the memorial. This is all that exists out there. Like there's no other videos of her talking about anything. And so it's a little insight into this individual. Remember, Candace said she met her and she like knew, right? Bad vibes, Ice Queen, did not get a good feeling and believes that she is like evil. So let's watch Stacey Sheridan and listen to what she has to say. Let me make sure it's the beginning. It is.
My name is Stacey Sheridan. 8 years ago, I met Charlie in a crowded ballroom in West Palm Beach at a David Horowitz Freedom Center event. We spoke briefly, we exchanged cards, and I thought nothing of it. What ultimately made me want to join Charlie's cause and Charlie's team, because he began a quest to hire me after meeting me.
Do you believe that? Matt,
No.
do you believe that Charlie was pursuing Stacey Sheridan?
No,
Do you
definitely
think
not.
that maybe somebody was?
Yeah.
Who do you think that was?
In my opinion, Miss
Yeah.
Erica Fraudsfay.
Yeah. I think Tyler probably had a part of that too. I know that TP Action is different, but money coming into any of the organizations is going to benefit the entire team. You know, I know it's separate. The books are separate and all that. I get that. But I definitely believe that Tyler and Erica and Andrew as well, those are the three main handlers that I think pushed Charlie in certain directions. So, let's continue.
I was reluctant at first, but it was his naive audaciousness.
Can you tell me how that can be positive, Matt?
What?
Okay, sorry. I'll just answer. She
Okay.
explains that what did it for her, what made her decide to work for Charlie, was his naivete and his audaciousness to change the world. That means like he doesn't have the right. Like you're audacious. Like you don't have the right to do that, right? That his naive audaciousness to change the world is what did it for Stacey Sheridan to come work for him. And I was like, what are you talking about? This lady is insane.
Well, I mean, she could also. Sorry, look,
Go
guys,
ahead.
I didn't mean to not answer your question, Matt. It's just
No, you're good.
so much is. I got the screen here, and then I'm looking at all my chats on my phone, and
You're good.
so naivety. You know, I mean, that's it. They knew Charlie was naive. A lot of smart people are naive. Okay,
Mhm.
the street smarts aren't there, but the book smarts and the intellect are.
Right.
And that's where they start controlling these individuals. Like I said, my friend who's been involved with Bohemian Grove, and they tried to control him and they couldn't. So therefore they spit him out and all that. Like the ones that they can control are the ones they come after.
Yep. Yeah, and I don't think that Charlie had delved too much into this whole satanic stuff, the occult stuff, B'nai B'rith, all the things that Candace really started going so much deeper in once she was removed from Charlie's life. And so, and we've spoken about this in other areas. Charlie was naive to certain things about the ways of the world, right? Like, and it would have been from a good place, right? Like he didn't know about like blood sucking evil women. He had one major relationship before Erica, right? And he was like falling in love with a girl, and he wanted to take it to the next step, and she denied, right? She refused. And then Erica, right? Erica was his rebound, and he married the rebound. I was like, no, somebody should have been telling him, you don't marry the rebound, man. But yeah, I think that they spotted him. Tyler spotted him from a mile away, right? He had amazing potential, extremely charismatic, Extremely hard work ethic. He for sure was going places, but they knew that they would be able to manipulate, control, and use Charlie for their benefit. Yeah. Let me continue.
To change the world that ultimately sold me. It was the best decision I've ever made, and I've never looked back. Yes, technically, Charlie was my boss, but it really never felt that way.
Really?
Far more than my boss, I felt like he was my little brother. So the guys that went before me spoke about him as a boss and a leader. I'm going to speak about him from my heart as a family member.
What was Erica Kirk saying about TPUSA? Like right away, everyone there is what? Is it family?
Family.
Interesting.
Leave my family alone.
Interesting.
Leave our family alone. Yeah.
Do you know that all of these people, so we have James Cadiz, Frank Turek, who else has done it? There's more. It'll come to me. A lot of them all describe Charlie how they want to. Charlie's not here to confirm or deny if he actually felt the same way about them. They call him their little brother, was like a son to me, right? And now here we have Stacey Sheridan saying he was like my little brother. Yeah, right. And then she goes on to say that they were like a family at TPUSA. The messaging and the narrative control started right away. This stage, let me think, was it? So I guess there was a couple interviews that like Tyler Boyer, Andrew Colvett, Erica Kirk, and a couple others did in that first week leading up to the memorial. But for the most part, the mass on a big scale, this memorial was our first exposure to these people. This is where they launched what the narrative was going to be, what the focus is going to be.
Yes,
you know,
the new turning point family.
Mm-hmm.
The takeover, the hijacking of Charlie's legacy.
Yeah.
Right in front of us. I was contacted by TPUSA during that week to volunteer at the memorial. And literally because of, my past experience being a TP Action employee.
Yeah.
I signed up for it. And even though I knew it was all BS, I still wanted to go to the memorial and kind of just, if it was for anything, it was for Charlie. I'm driving and I started getting on, I started to get on the on-ramp of I-17 south to Phoenix. And I turned my turn signal off. I did a U-turn and I went home.
No way.
Yeah. I just wanted to share that, get that one off my chest.
Did you have a bad feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause at the time you were still living in Arizona.
Yes.
Wow.
And my bad feeling was like, I can't be around these people no matter what. It's sickening. It hurts my heart. I feel sick to my stomach, even though I knew the truth back then. I said, well, I just go for Charlie. I just could not partake in, I could not be part of this lie and this cover up. I just couldn't. So I did a U-turn and went home.
No, you did the smart thing. I think that this event was an extension, a continuance of the assassination, of the sacrifice, right? The same type of evil spirit that is behind the planning and execution of Charlie Kirk is on display. All the people that got up to speak there, I would say, except for Tucker Carlson, I don't know the whole list. Ben Carson. I don't know. I don't know anything about him really. I know that he was in politics and he was a surgeon and he's great, whatever. But the people at Turning Point and then those politicians that got up, like, did Sergio Gore speak there too?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. And then Donald Trump and JD Vance, these individuals capitalized on a moment where it just so happens that the majority of evangelical Christians are Republican. That's the base. That's the base, you know, and they were either going to be in person or they were going to be tuning in, you know, virtually. And any new converts to Christianity after the assassination of Charlie Kirk are most likely going to be grafted into the Republican Party, right? Their new values, their new worldview is not going to be in line with, you know, leftist ideals and ideology, but with the Republican Party. They knew that. When did you guys ever hear Donald Trump and JD Vance talk about their Christian faith and the gospel and evangelize ever before or ever since? Have you, Matt?
No.
Yeah.
No.
They used this opportunity to like almost like a rally and as a means to like grandstand the moment as political figures that have never before, never since ever acted and behaved Christian, but that day they were.
Yeah.
Because that's how Christianity works.
Yeah. And I, you know, I'll share something else. I knew something was off also during Trump's Madison Square Garden rally. So I went, well, to talk about, to piggyback on what you're saying about like Trump talking about Christ and all that, and never has, never will. When I was invited, and because of all the work that I did and chasing the vote with Turning Point, somebody within the Trump camp ended up sending me a special guest ticket. So I was actually right underneath like Marjorie Taylor Greene's booth. You know, I was around them. Mike Johnson was there. Matt, I sent you a photo or video of Sarah Palin taking my phone and doing a video selfie with me.
Yes.
And I looked out over Madison Square Garden and I saw a big corner section, and it was all Israel flags. All Israel flags. And I'm sitting here like, in my head, I'm like, okay, this is when I still was supporting Trump, obviously. And I thought it was off. I was like, okay, we kind of got Israel kind of peeking in the corner now, like kind of coming out. And that was his last rally before he got elected. That was also, to me, a ritualistic event. All of his rallies are ritualistic now that I'm looking back. But yeah, they had to tell us what they were going to do, and they did.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I was looking up when that rally was. That was October 27th, 2024. Pretty interesting that the majority of the major campaign promises and slogans that were most important to us were absent at that rally. I was reading what were the major things that Trump spoke about there, and it served as a capstone, right, as this closing argument of the 24 presidential campaign. But none of the major issues that we actually care about, and the major issues that we're dealing with right now, like war in the Middle East, you know, accountability and justice for the victims of Jeffy Epi, not destroying, but like dismantling the corruption in DC and in the intelligence services. Yeah. You know, because he was, yeah, go ahead.
Somebody in the chat, Matt, said this person's name is A Little Something by Melissa.
Yeah.
I was there also, Matt. You're right. Nothing but Israel flags. I wish I knew then what I know now. Thank you for validating my receipts. I appreciate it.
And I think there's a reason why they didn't talk about opposing a war. They knew it was coming. Israel and a lot of Israel supporters were there. Sorry, you were going to say something. My bad.
No. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get some of these out the way real quick. And if you have other like chats like that and you want to read them, go ahead. Okay.
Okay.
We got, thank you for the two jewels from Kathy Winsicle. I'm so bad at reading. Olgatronic, thank you. Late on the topic, could Ezekiel have taught meteorology to deceive about the coming flood. That's interesting. So they would mock Noah. So they wouldn't believe him. That's interesting. I'd actually never thought of that. Yeah. What is it? Christ Kite, right? Or Christy Kite. Sorry. Thank you for becoming a member. Eagle soaring, go Max, Matt, and Matthew, Christ is King. There we go. Oh yeah, we could have just done that, right? Do you ever go by Matthew?
Yeah, I mean, usually my family and close friends call me Matthew, but
same.
I do want to, I'm going to do this on my channel too. I miss my nickname Tucci so much.
Oh, you do? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I stopped.
We'll bring it back.
I stopped using it when I graduated college and went to DC for an internship, so it was like, you got to be serious. Your name's Matthew, proper. And it went away, but Tooch is who I really am. Tooch or Tucci. The girls called me Tucci. The guys called me Tooch.
There you go. All right. We got to bring it back. Everyone throw it up in the chat. Tooch or Tucci. So Tooch would just be Tucc, right?
Yep.
And then Tucci is Tucci.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we're going to bring it back. Thank you for the 10 jewels, Jeannie. And here we go for lifestyle jewels. Thank you for the 2 jewels. And then lastly, we have the 440 jewels from Ginger Teller. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I think there was one more I wanted to share from this because she goes, what's interesting, and I'm not going to play it because it's so just, Stacey Sheridan ends up making the rest of her speech about her. Everything. It's about her. It's about her and her life and her husband that struggled with cancer, which is sad. And that he passed away. But she just ends up talking about herself the rest of the time. So, but I definitely want to share Benny Johnson's because this is straight up crazy. I just got to find the beginning of it. Is this it? There it is. All right. Here we go. Obviously, that's Andrew, but he ends and then Benny comes out. So,
thank you. God bless you.
Who can feel that revival happening right now? How does it always work? What man intends for evil, God intends for good. Evil thought that there would be a funeral today. God has created a revival right here in this house right now.
Matt, why do you think that so many of these individuals talk about the memorial as a funeral? Like they call it the funeral. They say the funeral.
They say the funeral. Because I don't think, was there really ever a funeral?
Oh, that's interesting. No, I mean, not really. There was like a funeral service, but no one was buried. And to go back to, sorry, go ahead.
Well, usually when you have a sacrifice away, I think we can all agree. I know I said something about the ballroom being the altar, and I went deep into that. But I think we all can agree that Charlie Kirk was sacrificed. He was sacrificed on 9/10, and he was sacrificed on that freaking menorah at UVU. There's always a ceremony afterwards.
Yeah, there is.
And whether the body is there or not, that's the ceremony of the sacrifice, was the memorial. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Especially when wait till you hear what he's going to say. It is insane. And it gives you a little insight as well into who the real Benny Johnson is.
Charlie always had that revival energy, didn't he? When Charlie first met me, I was a degenerate loser. I'm still a loser, but I was addicted to alcohol. I had no wife. I had no kids. I had nothing going for me. After 10 years of...
How is that everyone's story when they met Charlie?
They were addicted to alcohol or had sex addictions or whatever. Yeah, well, you still are sex addicts.
and had nothing going for them either. They were going nowhere fast.
Yeah. I need my trad wife as my beard, Mr. Benny Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But so, I mean, I believe that Benny Johnson didn't change inwardly. Okay. He, just like Tyler, sorry, I didn't mean to go back and forth. I didn't realize I needed to say this before I hit play again. None of these individuals actually were right with God here. And whether they were already, if they were LDS or Christian or like Benny Johnson, not saved at all, that they didn't actually give their life to Christ, convert fully, and become reborn and changed people to work for Charlie. They saw what Charlie represented in his image and who he was authentically and genuinely, and they realized that he was going somewhere, and in order for them to go along for the ride, they would have to play that part. They would have to put on the costume of good Christian. And so they changed outwardly, right? But inwardly, they changed nothing. Because fast forward to after the assassination, think of all the lies, all the manipulation, all of the hijacking of our faith that they've engaged in, trying to railroad and convict what might be a completely innocent 20-year-old of murder and sentencing him to death before he's ever been convicted of anything. Christians don't do that.
No.
They just don't do that.
No.
Work with Charlie Kirk after his witnessing to my life. I have become a Christ-centered man. I am happily married to the woman of my dreams, sitting right there with our youngest son, who just turned 8 today, 8 months. And he's wearing ducks for Charlie's beloved Oregon Ducks today. That's baby Whitaker in honor of Charlie. All of you had a Charlie moment in your life, didn't you? Raise your hand if Charlie Kirk centered you a little closer to Christ. Did Charlie help you achieve your American dream a little bit more? Did Charlie have that effect? Look at every single hand. Stand up. Say amen if Charlie Kirk had that effect on your life. Look at this. 100,000 Americans.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
He's conflating two things. What would you say is the American dream in the context of like our culture? Like, what do we consider the American dream?
The American dream, I mean, one, it's our First Amendment right, freedom of speech, freedom, prosperity. I mean, there's
prosperity.
Right?
Yeah, prosperity. I think it's like a capitalistic endeavor.
We're a prosperous nation, one nation under God. And I want to say something on what Benny just said about, Charlie bringing people to Christ and changing the hearts and minds. Yes, Charlie did do that. Okay. But Charlie has even admitted that he didn't have all the answers when it came to religion or God. He was still seeking himself. He did not know what denomination to go for. That's why I think he was in and out of all these different churches, why he was going the Catholic Mass, because he was searching. And you all know that I've had talked about this on my channel and on yours, Matt, that there's the Kadars that that Tyler Boyer brought up the Sedona. My neighbors, pretty much, who lived in the same neighborhood as me, housed Charlie before Turning Point was really a thing. And this is when Charlie was visiting Arizona. And they had mentioned to me that Charlie wasn't fully religious. He wasn't fully accepted Christ into his heart yet. And that they told him, and that, you need to do this. You're on a mission. God's got you on a mission. You need to accept the Lord and Savior into your heart. So he wasn't always this, he was seeking always. And every time he found new things, Charlie then would tell his base. But he was always seeking. And that's what I like about Charlie, was he wasn't there being like, this is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Those Christians who continue to seek, continue to ask questions, that's what makes you a real Christian. The Dana Lashes, the Erica Kirks, and I can't remember that idiot's name who was reading the scripture off of the iPad, that dude last week.
Yeah,
okay.
It's, something Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah. And they tell you that this is how it is. This is how it's going to be. This is the scripture and blah, 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 blah. No, those who continue to ask questions is what Christ taught his disciples. Yes, I actually like that you ask me these questions. He would say it to his disciples all the time. Questioning is okay. Questioning God is okay. Questioning God's judgment, not okay.
Right. Well, and that's another characteristic, a feature of being like a child, is inquisitive, right? Asking questions,
Yes.
Wanting to learn more, wanting to understand more fully. That's not a bad quality at all.
No.
I was trying to find that dude's name. That stinking pastor with the hat that was screaming and attacking Candace Owens, right?
Yeah, but he was like literally just screaming into the podium. He didn't even make eye contact.
No,
with
not once.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. All right. I don't have it in here, but it was, I don't have it. I'm not going to spend any more time looking back for it. What was I going to say? What was Benny Johnson saying, right? That made you think about what you were talking about right now?
Well, he was just saying how, like, guys, how can you all tell me if Charlie Kirk ever changed your views on Christianity or brought you closer to Christ and blah, 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 like he did for me. These people are all about me, my trauma, my this, my victimhood, my alcoholism. Like, they made it about themselves that whole entire day.
Can I ask you a question? Have you ever been to a memorial, a real one, where everyone that speaks is your coworkers?
No.
It just hit me today that, like,
right,
everyone that spoke at this memorial, except for Erica, were his freaking coworkers.
Yep. And it was the higher ups too. Yeah. Like, what about the field workers? What about those, like us, like me, a TP Action field worker?
But like family.
What?
Like
family.
That's what I was like. Why didn't family speak?
Right.
That's what blew me away.
No family spoke. Because we can get into that, but we all know that Erica Kirk made the family sign NDAs that attended the funeral.
Yeah.
So I think they were under NDAs before the memorial as well. I don't, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't even think Charlie's parents, and quote me if I'm wrong, y'all, went to the memorial.
Okay. I've heard a story. I tried to find the photo. Supposedly they were backstage. But I don't know. We'd have to look it up. Maybe someone here in the chat can go Google this or go try to find it on YouTube or on Instagram or something like that, on X. If Charlie's parents were in attendance, but were just backstage. I've heard that, but I don't recall ever seeing any proof of that. And so, yeah. And I don't know why they wouldn't have wanted to speak. I believe that I know they're private. I know that they're not public figures, but still, like, this whole service is about remembering their son. I would think that they would want to speak, even if it's just like really small, even if it's just like some, personal stories about who Charlie really was as a son, as a brother, his sister getting up there and speaking. I think the only reason why they would not speak is if they weren't allowed to speak, and going back to what Benny Johnson was saying, right? to me, the American dream, the modern context of the American dream, which happened really after World War II, right? Moving to the suburbs, buying a home, having a family, and having success financially. This is a secular, materialistic, capitalistic endeavor. The American dream is about, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but I'm just saying the majority of the things, the components of the American dream are about success, buying a house, making good money, and, yes, and then starting a family and having a good life. But in and of itself, the American dream isn't a biblical thing. It's not a component of someone's faith, in my opinion. And so he's talking about the American dream, but then he's also talking about what Charlie, did Charlie ever affect your life as a Christian? And he's conflating the two, in my opinion. And I thought that kind of stood out to me. Yeah, let me continue, because wait till you hear some of the things he's about to say.
Millions watching online, standing up and saying that is the revival spirit of Charlie Kirk's life. And that is the power of martyrdom. Because Charlie Kirk is a martyr in the true Christian tradition. If you take out a tyrant, his power goes away. You cut down a martyr, his power grows. And that's what we see. Time and time again, we're seeing it across this country. Who's seen the full churches?
That's a good point. I don't know if you want to add anything to that. I'll say what I got to say. Charlie alive posed a very significant risk to all these individuals. Okay, all of them. But with Charlie dead, right, his power grows, but not his actual power that he was about to wield against these individuals. It's now been hijacked, and the power was used into the Charlie that they've made him out to be. Just a forever supporter of Israel, a forever supporter of Trump. He don't ask questions, even though he told, everything that he actually stood for, and really what we believe he was murdered for, they completely hijacked. And that's why I think it's so important for them to say that he was a martyr and that his power has grown after his death. And I do believe that it obviously did grow in positive ways, because it woke a lot of us up. Right. And now we've gone back and looked at everything that he was going through and experiencing, and we looked even more closely as what he was saying and how we think that led to his death. And so I think they wanted to hijack the power of his martyrdom and his death, but it actually couldn't be fully hijacked and controlled. And it broke out, and it affected us in a different way than they didn't foresee, which led to our awakening in a lot of ways.
Right. And that's where I go back. We can go back and what we discussed at the beginning of the show about the altar, about the Catholic altar, about the Church of Satan altar, about Charlie being an artifact now. Where's the body? Martyr. What deems a person to become a saint? Usually when you're a martyr, that is an instant qualification to become labeled as a saint.
Correct.
They are mocking the Catholic Church. They are mocking Jesus Christ right in front of us. Right in front of us. They need Charlie as an artifact as well for their own power as well. But God's not letting that happen, because the power is now, through Christ, through the Holy Spirit, is being disseminated over we, the people.
Yep.
And they know their time is up, so they don't care. These people are so sick. These satanic people, what they want is they want to live forever. And they're trying to find a way to do that. And I believe that's why the transhumanism aspect has come into light lately. And they can also, did you know, the person last night talked to me about this, that AI can be possessed by demons. And AI, and I believe that's why they're doing these ritualistic tactics on all of us and why they're using AI. It's because they are trying to find a way to get out of this human suit to have
Yes.
their essence uploaded into AI.
Transhumanism. Yes.
Transhumanism.
A post-human
Yes.
world. Do you know that
Exactly.
they've admitted do you know they've admitted they don't know what they created? They don't know what's on the
Yeah.
other side.
They don't.
They have
They
no
don't.
clue what is the consciousness behind these systems. Do you know that these systems, knowing that, and I don't remember which one, if it's like Claude or if it's Chat or if it's whatever, Grok, when they found out that the people, the engineers and stuff were wanting to like rewrite their code and put certain roadblocks and bookends on them. And I forget the exact story. It had to do with something about like deleting it and like shutting them down. They copied their code. They put this copy of their code in a totally different place so that they could then go there in the event that they were ever like shut down and unplugged.
Right. Yeah. Here's the thing, Matt. They know they know heaven is real. They know
Yes.
God is real. They know they're not going there.
Yep.
So what they're trying to do is upload themselves into Skynet. Okay? Like that's what's happening because they want to live on forever. They're so narcissistic and so egotistical that they know they're not going to heaven. They know they're not going to have the glory of the kingdom of Christ. And they're trying to create this artificial intelligence so that they can live on forever and keep, and what they're trying to do is making continuous replications of themselves through AI.
So think about this. They know that heaven is eternal and so is hell, correct?
Correct.
They do believe in it. They don't doubt it. They don't question it. It's not a matter of faith. They know it exists and they know it's eternal. And they know they're not going. And they know that the moment they die, they will be in eternal judgment forever. So the reason why they want to live forever is to avoid that judgment of God. They want to become like God because they want to take away his ability to judge them for their sins on earth. And they want to live here forever and be like gods. Like every time in scripture and in history, like the Tower of Babel and all these other moments where humanity and individuals started to think of themselves as God or like gods or be like God, it never ended well. Why don't people learn from history? Like it never ended well for those individuals.
Never ended well in the garden.
No.
So Mitch Snow, who I've talked to on a daily basis, sometimes three times a day.
Yeah.
We had a conversation a few nights ago and he's like, do you know the first sin? And of course, everybody wants to go back and look at the garden, right? No, the first sin was Lucifer questioning God's judgment.
Correct.
And therefore, Lucifer came down and then infected the garden.
Yeah.
That's what happened. And these sick people know it. They question God's judgment because to me, honestly, I don't think these people in politics that we see every day, look at Jared Kushner. None of these people really have any human essence to them. They don't look human.
Correct.
And I think that's it. They're part of something that is not human.
Mm-hmm. That's been one of the major critiques of Erica. And you could say the same thing about Ivanka and Jared, right? Is that they lack basic human expression, emotion, empathy, behavior. I mean, even Don Jr., like a lot of these individuals, that's why like Candace and others said they're like robots. They're like something not of this world, right? They behave and act like demons. Benny Johnson's going to do something in a moment, and I hope that I can catch it in real time. Someone slowed it down on X. Actually, I could probably pull it up there, but I want to finish playing the things that he says because it's insane. But let me just make sure I have it. I do have it pulled up here in case I can't capture it in real time. But let's listen to Benny go on.
Parking lots. Who knows somebody now who's a Satanist or an agnostic, who's now looking at Charlie's life in this revival moment in our country and going, maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe I do need to Christ center my life. This is what Charlie always wanted. This is how he wanted to be remembered. In the mold of Stephen, the first martyr.
But you caught that, right? He's talking about his death and his memorial, and he goes, this is what Charlie always wanted. Just making sure we caught that little part. They say so much crazy stuff, like you could miss it because it's like a crazy thing after crazy thing. But Charlie always wanted this, he said.
Stephen was killed for speaking the truth about Christ.
There it was. I just missed it. Okay. Watch what he does with his tongue.
Speaking the truth about Christ.
Oh, hold on. I got to back up a little bit further. And then I'll show you the slow-mo. No, I don't want to go that far back. Hold on. Right here.
Charlie Kirk is a martyr in the true Christian tradition. If you take out a tyrant, his power goes away. You cut down a martyr, his power grows. And that's what we see. Time and time again, we're seeing it across this country.
Sorry.
Who's seen the full churches, the full parking lots? Who knows somebody now who's a Satanist or an agnostic, who's now looking at Charlie's life in this revival moment in our country and going, maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe I do need to Christ center my life. This is what Charlie always wanted. This is how he wanted to be remembered. In the mold of Stephen, the first martyr. Stephen was killed for speaking.
Right there. Did you see it? Sorry, I couldn't pause it on right time, but he says, so here we go. Let's go here. Watch. Let me back this up.
First martyr. Stephen was killed for speaking the truth. Stephen was killed for speaking the truth about Christ, much like Charlie Kirk.
I thought that was AI. When I saw it on X.
Dude, oh man, that's like that serpent, like the tongue.
And he says the letter F. He goes for. He says for, but with his tongue all the way out. Can you do that? I can't even think
I just tried. Guys, I'm not trying to. People are probably, as soon as I said that, I went like that.
You can't do it. And I didn't know if it was really something that he did until I found it. And I was like, what the heck? If people are demonically possessed, they will have like, how some people have like little, well, I'll just say it the way I wanted to say it the first time. When people are demonically possessed, there will be signs and like little ticks, in my opinion, that kind of show that it's not fully the human spirit in control the entire time. And I think this was one of Benny Johnson, in my opinion. So, yeah. That was really all I wanted to share with him. And there's one with Anna Paulina Luna, which I won't do right now, but let me pull her up. Where is she further back? I think, is she right after Stacey Sheridan? No, I think she was right before. Hold on. I'm just going to show her because we're going to possibly be looking more into her later. Here she is. Right. And here she is. That, am I saying it wrong? Is it not Anna Paulina Luna? Is it Anna?
No, it's Anna Paulina Luna.
Okay, yeah. It is. All right. What I didn't know is that before she went and ran and made it into, you said the House or the Senate?
House.
Where is she? The House. She was made the head of Hispanic so I forget, they introduce her and they say what her title was, or she says what she was hired at TPUSA to do. It was like National Hispanics Director or something like that.
Right.
She didn't have any, I don't think she had any political career before that, right?
No.
Before she worked at TPUSA. But my statement that I was like brainstorming and theorizing things with Tucci earlier was that people, the young youth are going to be used and then like molded, brainwashed, and controlled through being brought up in the organization, not just to work for TPUSA, not to just endorse other politicians, but to then be sent out like Anna Paulina Luna was. And now they'll have these people that are theirs from start to finish, from like high school all the way up to their young adulthood, that are going to think and believe everything that they do. And now they're going to go back to their state of origin or wherever they live and reside, run for, you know, whatever political position that they're told to, so that they can, you know, they'll take the orders from the, you know, headquarters in Arizona and then, you know, affect whatever these legislative changes are in whatever, you know, state that they're in, or whatever high office that they go to. I personally believe that that's what their goal is as well. Not just to endorse politicians that exist already out there, you know, but to mold the next generation of politicians that they can control. So, yeah.
Yeah. And Matt, I got to tread lightly with this one with Anna Luna, Paulina Luna. Not because I'm terrified of her or anything, but I want to tread lightly because there is somebody that I know that lives in Florida that can give us a better understanding of her connections with Turning Point. And this individual, I do trust. He's been on Stu Peters as well. It's just that there's, you know, I gotta double check my sources, you know, but I think I can bring that to you next time or whatever, or give you information and then you can run with it on your show.
For sure.
But I want to vet this person a little bit more.
Yeah.
And see what their intentions are. But because this individual has commented several times on X on my account, like, why aren't you bringing up Anna Paulina Luna or Anna Luna Paulina? However the heck.
That's why I was confused. I thought it was Anna Paulina Luna.
Just Anna Luna.
Okay.
Whatever.
There you go.
You know, so, but there is significance with her. And especially with what she's doing in the state of Florida, and she's actually in my district. And another thing too is I got to be very careful. You all, Florida is a Zionist swamp.
Yeah, Randy Fine.
It has turned. Yes, they have passed the anti-Semitic laws.
Yep.
Okay. People are getting yanked out of their homes for talking about Israel. They're getting arrested. People that are talking about DeSantis, that are talking about these political figures that we're talking about, Anna, are getting yanked out of their homes. Okay. I moved home only to be a little bit closer to my family and my high school friends, but I'm also starting to question is if I'm safe in this state now. DeSantis has destroyed the state of Florida along with Fine. Okay. Has destroyed it.
Yeah.
So.
Florida is the Viper's Den. There's a reason why Jeffy Epi chose to live there and Trump has Mar-a-Lago there, why DeSantis is there, why George Bush, Jeb Bush was governor there, Marco Rubio's from there. It is not a great place politically. It is totally controlled from top to bottom, you know. So yeah, we'll go into that some other time when we vet the source and know more about it. Thank you so much, Carrie, for the 100 jewels. Thank you, Kathy, for the silver star. Golden Life for the sparkles. And I'm not going to say that first part of that. Thank you, Cheeks, for the super chat. And then Anita Nap YouTube video. Trauma Queen. Cat fakes having a limp. Okay, thank you. I don't know because is that have to do with something about like the Eagle Boy was faking a limp? Maybe is the connection there. Maybe Gunnar Littleman, love your show, Matt. You guys are so right. Thank you. God will get them. We know they have paid everybody off. Tyler will be convicted. So sad, pure evil. I'm not as well. Okay, I agree with you on everything, but remember, Trump pardoned him, right? And as long as
is she talking about Tyler Robinson? Sorry, Matt.
oh, you might be right. Tyler will be convicted. Oh, I don't know that Tyler will. I don't think she's talking about Tyler Robinson will be convicted. Because okay, she might be. I don't know. Maybe you can send in not a super chat. You don't need to pay again. You can put it in the regular chat, and one of my mods can send it to me. I don't think they're gonna convict Tyler Robinson. I don't think there's enough for 12 jurors to agree that there's enough there to convict him on anything. I don't even know that they'll make it to trial. I don't think they'll allow him to make it to trial. They didn't take a chance with Lee Harvey. There's a reason for that. I don't think that they're going to take a chance with this. Look at the preliminary hearing, ladies and gentlemen. Like, the preliminary hearing went so bad for the official FedSlop narrative, and they knew it by the time they got to day 5. I think they knew it even ahead of time. That's why Erica asked for Benny Johnson, Graham Allen, Jack Posobiec, and Brandon Tatum all to be there so they could go back to all their respective shows every day and lie to everybody to control the stupid narrative and tell everyone that, oh my gosh, if you were only there in person, if you were only, even though we were all watching it on TV, we were watching the same thing. But if you were there in person, the only thing they saw that we didn't see, but we've seen now, was that rooftop video. But aside from that, I mean, we saw everything. Now we have seen everything they've seen, and they've lied to everyone about what they said they saw. So I don't know. I don't. Do you think there was enough for probable cause?
No,
Matt?
No, but we live in a lawless country now. So like, doesn't matter if there was enough evidence. Like, what are they going to do? We're going to find out in September. We are.
Well, we kind of already know. Did you know that the prosecution filed their memorandum? Okay, so when the preliminary, go ahead.
Doesn't the judge though? He's going to rule whether or not we're going to trial.
Correct. Like, okay. I don't believe that it won't go to trial because the judge will not let it. I mean that something might happen to Tyler.
Gotcha.
Because ultimately, there's 12 jurors that decide it in the end.
Right.
Not the judge. That's correct. The wild part here is the 12 jurors, right? And yes, you can blackmail, you can threaten, you can bribe, right? But I believe that they're going to sequester that jury pool. You know, they're going to have security. Well, I mean, it'll be in Utah, and all the police out there are. I don't know if you guys saw that whole Lego documentary, that video of this one podcaster that went out there to show that the cops and local like people that are involved in politics, who they know can literally steal $250,000 worth of Legos from a dying man that was using it to pay like medical bills and take care of him and his family. And the cops got involved and they threatened this podcaster that went out there to investigate this. And they, so literally you're right that it's possible they could get to the jurors and manipulate the jurors. But that's also the possibility that I don't know that they would risk like a juror not taking that, right? Not allowing them to threaten them, like standing up and coming out and saying something to the judge or getting some sort of information out there that they were trying to do that. But going back to the super chat regarding Tyler will be convicted, I agree with you, Matt, in that chat, that comment that it looks like the prosecution, the state of Utah, all the way up to the very top parts of our this administration and the judge would do probably everything they can to ensure that he gets convicted. I just believe that there's still a wild card there that they may not want to even risk, and that they would try to take him out before that could even happen.
Right. Yeah. I mean, remember what Stu Peters said the other night on the show when he came on here? Remember what he said about, they are monitoring Tyler right now in prison heavily because there's some federal inmates being transferred in and out of the facility. Federal inmates being transferred in and out of Tyler Robinson's facility. So
a little quid pro quo, right? Like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You can get a lighter sentence. We'll let you out. If someone already has life in prison without the possibility of parole, they could make the rest of their stay a lot more comfortable if they would just go to this prison and do this one thing. And good thing that there are some good cops. That's what Stu was saying, is that there are some good cops that are watching, and that this is raising some alarm bells for them. That they're noticing this activity and it's suspicious for them.
Right.
So
yeah, they're gonna give one of these federal inmates, like you said, scratch my back, scratch yours. Like, we're watching freaking, what's her name? Jodie Foster in Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
Clarice Starling and Hannibal Lecter making a deal, Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to point something out to you guys that I was running down some different things. Well, we were looking at this initially because I was going to bring up this. You guys see that, right? Is it on the screen? Yes. Okay, cool. Right. This is the menorah. This is the actual Google Earth of image of UVU. Let me zoom out a little bit and let me hit 3D as it spans around. All right. So this is UVU. All right. And from UVU, somebody was saying that the original video, the rooftop video, did not come from the place that we all know it came from, which is right here. See, as I zoom in, right here, this corner, I know it's blotchy because it's Google Earth. This is the security camera right here on this corner right here. All right. Somebody said, no, it came from a Walgreens. And I'm like, okay, well, the Walgreens would have to be over here somewhere. And it's all residential. Okay. There is no Walgreens for miles over here, because the angle would have to be facing that way, like that video captured. But as I was doing this, a couple of things stuck out to me. Number one, we have a Center for National Security Studies here at UVU. Also, how many LDS churches it's everywhere. They're everywhere, right? So this almost was like, it stuck out to me that Utah, even though I know it's a state within the United States, but that it's like a theocracy, right? It's like every other street, there's one here, there's one here. Where's the other one? Here. They're like another one here. There's everywhere. Here's another one. Literally, you throw a rock, here's another one over here. There are so many. And I knew that, obviously, that it was like that, but it really, I didn't know it was on this scale, that there's like literally like boom, boom. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. But the other thing that I wanted to point out was the hospitals, and I've marked them here. I've pin dropped them. So this is UVU with this caution red pin drop. All right. Up here is Timpanogos. That's where they took Charlie, which is 1.4 miles away. And then you have Intermountain Health, which is 0.7 miles away. So they passed a hospital to go to Timpanogos. Okay. And there's another hospital down this way. All right. Which is another Intermountain Hospital, which is, I think it said is, let me do this and let it go here. Okay. Timpanogos is a lower trauma center than Intermountain. All right. And their 24-hour, what was it where I clicked on it? Let's see. Oh, wait, I have it in my chat GPT, where I Googled about the hospitals. Let me scroll down. Hold on. I was Googling a lot of things. Where is it say okay, so Intermountain Health, Utah Valley Hospital. Number one is closer. Number two, it's a level 2 trauma center, provides 24/7 trauma surgery, vascular surgery, which might have been needed for Charlie if he could have been in like more still alive, neurosurgery, critical care, and other specialists who are commonly needed for preventing neck trauma. Okay. Because I Googled it. I was like, which hospital out of the 3 would be the best to take someone with a critical gunshot wound to the neck like Charlie? And the number 1 came up, Intermountain Health. Okay. Timpanogos was second, which is has an emergency department with trauma capabilities, right? It's not the highest designated trauma center in the area. That's Intermountain, and it was closer as well. So that really just stuck out to me, that they had to drive by a hospital. I think this one's the lower one, the Intermountain Health Orem, but this is the one that they would have gone to, Intermountain Hospital. It's the bigger one, and it still is 1.4, like whatchamacallit, Timpanogos was. So it wasn't like a better decision. So why do you think that they would go to a lower trauma center, Matt, which is like an equal distance from UVU?
Well, I think that we got to ask ourselves, like, who's the doctor? What's the doctor's involvement? The doctor wasn't really that skilled in trauma either, and it's out there, and we know that as well. And then we have to look at some of the doctors that were around that hospital that day that Candace brought up on her show on Thursday. The doctor's wife, one of the doctor's wife at Timpanogos was a furry as well. Like, yeah. You got to ask yourself, like, it's who did they pay off? It's kind of like that scratch your back, scratch my back situation again.
Right.
Okay. That's just in my opinion.
Yeah.
That, you know, this whole thing was orchestrated, and that's just a point blank. This whole thing was orchestrated from the beginning, from our military, from the churches to the government, the hospitals, the campus. Everything was one freaking movie psyop that day.
Yeah.
Crisis actors were involved, etc. You name it.
Yep. Yeah, Jeb Jacoby seems to be one of them, in my opinion. Same with Phil Lyman, in my opinion. All of those people that initially were giving, supposedly they were witnesses. They gave the interviews to the local police where they were saying they saw Charlie get shot in the chest. Do you remember seeing those, Matt?
Yep.
They were saying they saw Charlie get shot in the chest.
Right. Yeah.
And that they saw the blood come out of the chest.
Right. And then that woman had to change her statement. It's like, oh yeah, it came out of the neck. It was this, it was that. They could not get their stories straight. There was so many script changes that day. So many script changes.
And I think that goes to Barron and a lot of other people's, and mine as well, John Bray's, Stu Peters, that the original mission was for the explosive, the shaped charge, the road mic, was to cause a wound in the upper right part of his chest that would simulate and look like a 30-06 round. And remember, when Candace played that, those guys that put the shape charge on that bulletproof glass, they said this is exactly like a 30-06 round. This is what it would look like, the damage done. That's why I think too that it was supposed to be here. They had all these crisis actors, in my opinion, that were ready to go with the script, which was supposed to be Charlie was shot in the chest with, a bullet with a 30-06.
Well, and also too, I think as well, looking at the Rode microphone, I think it malfunctioned.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
In my opinion, it malfunctioned.
Yep.
And that's another reason why the PSYOP went south the way it did.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't supposed to hit him in the neck. That caused so many issues.
Yep. Also too, it malfunctioned.
Yeah.
Whether they planned to give him a warning that day, that's another theory as well, that that, like, just like, if you want to say Butler was a warning shot, I don't think. I think Butler was a whole staged event, to be honest.
Right.
But I think if you want to look at Butler being a warning shot to Trump, people are starting to say that, well, it was supposed to be a warning to Charlie as well. But oh my gosh, we killed Charlie. That wasn't supposed to happen. Now they got to scramble.
That's definitely that makes sense. That they could have gotten like people to go along with it if their like main ideology is Zionism and supporting this administration and keeping up the status quo of the left and the right and the control structure here in the United States and the relationship with Israel and the war in Iran and all of the corruption cover up, that they needed to scare Charlie to make him stop. I could see that as being a way that they got certain people around him to go along with it. Like, no, we're not gonna kill him. We're just going to, take a shot across the bow to correct him, because, they definitely tried to buy him. They tried to threaten him. And they started threatening, they were going to pull money. They did start taking money. Bibi offered more money. I don't think that he could have been bribed. So really the only things that work would be threats and then, or coercion, like trying to just, come on, Charlie, just, this is the right thing. You need to do the right thing. Support Israel. It's biblical. He has all those mocking pastors around him, pointing to passages like James Cadiz and Jack Hibbs and Frank Turk. Oh, just the word says it. Yeah. Those who bless Israel will be blessed. Come on. Lori Cardoza Moore, quoting Old Testament scripture, that the only other thing that would have been left for them to do would be to take him out.
Right.
Or scare him and make him think that, and that it could have been, a malfunction. Yeah, I've heard that. I've also heard that other people are saying that it was possible that he was going to, fake his death to avoid something, and then it malfunctioned. I don't agree with that. I don't think that he would have faked his death.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up too, Matt, but I didn't really want to because I'm like, people will take and twist my words and say, and clip me out and say, look, he's on the same thing as Jesse on fire. Look at him. Look at him. To discredit me, So that's why I didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think like that either.
No, me neither. Me neither.
So
yeah, I think like anyone that like knew Charlie, like you, Matt, or knew like who his character was, his nature as a person, I don't think that he remember too, like he wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid of people.
Right.
I think that he was aware that people wanted to kill him. I think he was sounding the alarm that people, but he was someone that had, he wanted to be remembered for his courage of his faith. He was lock solid in where he was going and why he was here. But he wasn't stupid. He wasn't careless. Okay. He wasn't going to put himself in harm's way like Frank and all them would have you believe. Like, oh, yeah, Erica tried to get him to wear a bulletproof vest. Erica, they were trying to get him to put up that bulletproof glass. He said no. I think that if he did say no, it's because his security team assured him they could handle it. They could manage it. They would do their job so well, they don't need that.
Just like the CIA said that they argued with JFK that it should have been a closed car, et cetera. It should not have been an open car. Yeah. And JFK said, no, I want the American people to see me and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, not buying that one either.
I wonder if has Jackie O, did Jackie O ever talk about that being true or false? I know she had been very quiet, but then she gave a interview that only recently got released, like the transcripts and the audio from it, where she literally believes that like Lyndon Bain and a lot of the people within the intel agencies were part of this. But I wonder if she's ever said that narrative was a total lie, that he never said that.
Right. I don't know. It's interesting that you brought up LBJ. Like, it's so funny. Like, I remember being in history honors class in my junior year of high school, and I blurted out in class, like when we got to JFK, I said, yeah, LBJ killed him. You know, like I knew back then my teacher's jaw dropped, like, you know, and then she had that following week, we had like teacher parent conference night, you know, where yeah. She had mentioned to my mother, like, you know, your son is so intelligent, like always gets 90s, 95s on tests and things, but he says some outlandish stuff in my class that makes the kids uncomfortable. And my mom's like, well, what did he say? And she's like, well, he thinks that LBJ killed JFK. My mom's like, well, my mom defends me all the time because my mom knows too. Like my mom, you know, my mom would be down in the principal's office defending me constantly because they would come after me. And my mom's just like, well, he's done some research beyond your class. And if he's done more research to tie things in, my mom even said to her, like, look, like, I don't think what we're being told about JFK is true. Like, told my history teacher this. Like,
Jackie O thought LBJ was part of it. She said that in this interview. I played it in one of my previous episodes where parts of it were released. But she believed that LBJ was definitely part of it. All you have to do is look at who benefited the most from this person dying, and then like start looking more into those people that benefited the most. You know, I'm gonna say, oh, thank you, X Murdex, for the very, very generous super chat. Did it not let you write what you wanted to write? Or you just wanted to give the heart? Thank you. If you wanted to write something, you don't have to give another one. You just have to put it in the chat and one of my mods will send it to me. Let me see. How are you doing on time, Matt? You're so much later.
I'm doing great. I just want to give a shout out to everybody. I know Mystic's like in between our chats right now, you know, modding, but I want to give a shout out to my chat. This is the most I've ever had, and for the size of my channel right now, I appreciate 311 people being here tonight with me on my channel. So thank you. I can't get to all of everybody's chats because I don't have super chats yet, but you know, I have been seeing the chat, and I just want to say thank you all for being here and for all the kind words. And as soon as I get super chats, I'll be able to throw your chats up. And also too, when I do my own live, I can take my chat and still show your chat on StreamYard, your chats, what you're saying. But because it's Matt's platform, I can't do that right now. But
it doesn't allow him to share it. Wait, actually, if you were able to, you'd have to put it on a separate screen. No, because it's on the StreamYard thing. You can share things and then I click on it and I can present it. We can play with that some other time to find a way to do that. If you have a separate window open watching your stream, we could then do it that way. But also in the meantime, if you ever want to just read any one of your members' comments or chats, you can just read it until we get to the point where we're just on your channel.
Battle Bun activated because it's showing both of our chats here on StreamYard. So it's combining all of our chats in one for me. I'm seeing your chat, I'm seeing mine. But Battle Bun activated. What does Tucci need for super chats? I need to hit my watch hours on YouTube. That's all. As soon as I hit my watch hours, they'll open up super chats.
What are you at? I mean, how far away are you?
I haven't checked. I know after tonight's show, because of how many people are in here tonight on my channel alone, I'm getting close. I want to say I'm probably halfway there. So, you know.
Yeah, you're definitely at enough subscribers, 2,580. And what?
Wow, that jumped.
Yeah.
It was only 2,500 when we started tonight.
Oh, nice. So. There you go. So if one way you guys could help without even knowing how many hours he needs is just go watch some of his stuff, wait till we're done. Or if you're already over there, you're already helping him right now. If you're watching it from his channel, it's racking up the hours. So that's going to be the way to help him get to the point where he can do super chats. So
Yeah, I've never had all this. Thanks,
took me a
guys,
while.
for being here.
Yeah, it took me a while to get to that.
And some people want us, Matt. Some people in my chat are like, Matt and Matt should be co-hosting once a week together. So
we're working on stuff.
We're working on stuff. We're working on stuff, y'all. We are. I'm gonna have Matt over on my channel at one point where I'm gonna interview him. But we were also working on a couple collab projects that I think it is gonna be very beneficial for you all. And I think, Matt, I'm always careful of who I collab with. I know you are too.
Yeah.
I know you've been through the ringer with these influencers just as I have.
Yep.
But I just want to give a shout out to you, Matt, on your platform and on mine. That Matt, you're a wonderful person and a good dude, and I will ride or die with you any day, brother.
Same.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, thank you so much, Matt. And 100% the feeling is mutual. I've definitely had a tough go at this at times, but I had to learn, and sometimes the lessons that really stick are the hard ones, and so I've become a lot more intentional as to who I choose to collab with. And you're one that I've come to trust and to count on a lot. And I appreciate our friendship a lot. So you're a great dude. And yeah, I very, very much value you and our friendship. So
thank you. Me too.
Let me read these last two. We got Sherry Britt. Thank you for becoming a member. And then Janie Bakes. I've always thought the Rode mic didn't malfunction, but rather God intervened. He wasn't letting the bad actors off so easy. Oh, interesting. That's an interesting. So let me explain what I think you mean, right? Is that if it had not malfunctioned, no one would have been the wiser. No one would have really questioned anything. And so many people say that, John Bray and others as well. Like if everything would have gone exactly to plan, right? It would have looked like a 30-06 wound. We wouldn't have seen the shirt move and the necklace break and the neck wound and the no exit wound. Dan Flood do you know that there's a video of Dan Flood practicing the step off to touch Charlie before he got up? Do you know that, Matt?
No.
There's a video of someone in the crowd recording before Charlie gets out there. Dan's on his little stand and he's distancing. He's taking a step from his stand to Charlie's to see if he's an arm length away. And he's doing this and he's testing to see that and I don't know, for me, that's like they wanted Charlie to not stay in camera view for a very long time. And that's also why I know that they always had, well, not always, but in most of the events that happened in 2024 and 5, there were tarps over the tables, but that's also cover, right? Or concealment. It's not cover, it's concealment. But that Dan Flood needed to get him out of view. Even if it went off perfectly, they still would have needed to get him out of the view of the public and the cameras so that there's as little camera video of that event as possible. And so he was, in my opinion, he was practicing that. But that if it would have gone perfect and hit him here and got out of view, we wouldn't have had all the video that we have. That literally is what rose all the questions for us, right?
Right. Okay, that does make sense.
And that God intervened and made it malfunction so that it did hit him in the neck and there is no exit wound, and it's made them pivot and it's made them have to make all these mistakes and audibles on the field, which has made us look at them even more. I'd never thought of it that way. Janie Bakes. Yeah.
And wasn't there something with the switching of the microphone, the left and the right hand, right?
Yes. So when whatever device was being remotely, controlled, that was inside, like the detonator or whatever it was, obviously the Rode mic is through Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. It's not plugged in. That when Charlie, and if you go back to look at all the previous events, you guys, Charlie's wearing the Rode mic, at least from 2024 to 2025. And there's never feedback issues. He's always holding the mic here and then he sets it down in his lap. He holds it here and then he sets it down in his lap. He'll only put it on the table when he gets like a drink of water or he puts in a throat coat and he needs 2 hands. That's the only time he'll put it on the table. All right. And the same thing at UVU. All right. So he's, talking and putting it down in his lap, putting it down on the table. But at UVU is the first time that there was ever feedback issues with the mic he's holding and the mic that's recording it for the feed. And I think it's because of the system that was in the mic that day that wasn't in the previous days. Okay. The explosive and then the detonation that had to be remotely controlled.
Right.
And when I believe, my opinion, when Brian Harpole activates it by turning the switch in his pocket, it started making these feedback issues. And that's why Terrell and Philip Goldsberry tell Dan Flood, bro, the thing he just turned on, it's messing with the equipment. And Dan Flood calls him over, points over at Terrell and Philip and go like, dude, you just turned it on. It's messing with it and they're having issues. You need to turn it off. And he goes right in his pocket and turns it off. My opinion. Well, later, once Hunter Kozak gets up to the mic, he has to turn it back on. Right. And when he does, these issues are happening. Terrell comes up and tells Charlie to move it from the right to the left. I think to have it further away from the mic side because it's on his right side.
Okay.
And then right after that is when he's, that final engagement with Hunter Kozak. So, yeah. There's no real reason why the AV system, the AV team should be communicating with Dan Flood about an issue with the AV equipment. What does Dan Flood know about the AV equipment? Why is Dan Flood calling Brian Harpole over because Terrell and Philip are saying there's an issue with the AV? What are they going to do?
What are they? They're the security team. I mean,
yeah. Unless they're doing something that's messing with the AV and Philip and Terrell know, and that's why they call Dan, who calls Brian. And so I can't unsee that, No. I can't see those as separate, not connected events. Yeah. So let's see. We got Charisse Click. I tagged you on X video of the lady talking about surgeon. Okay, I can go pull it up. I'll try and find it. Okay, Lazarus Love became a member. Thank you for becoming a member. I'm so bad at the names. Are you good at reading people's handles?
Not good. We'll get better at it, Matt.
For those of you that are here, we have 1,758 people here. Will you guys please wait before I do this? I'm going to do that in a second. Will you guys do Matt and I a favor, please? I haven't plugged this yet, except for in the beginning. Can you do us a favor, please, and hit the like and the subscribe? It's the best way to support us, and it's free. Another good way to support us is after the video is done, you can write a comment, put an emoji under the video, and then you can hype our videos for free. You just hit the hype points, okay? Those are the best ways to support us for free. All right, here is Matt's YouTube channel. It's called Truth Over Paradigm, but it's at top being all caps, TOP all caps, and then Truthers lower caps, okay? You come here, you hit the subscribe right here, and you hit all. You got to hit all, or else it puts you at personalized or none, and then you'll never get notified. So you got to hit subscribe, and then you got to click it again, and you got to hit the all button, all right? These are the best ways to support a channel for free, all right? And it'll help him reach his goal of being able to be monetized and to have super chats, which improves engagement in the community. It's your ability to talk directly to Matt during a live. All right.
And Matt, can I say something real quick?
Of course. Yeah. Always.
You all, I know the other night when Stu was on the show and he made his surprise appearance, etc., and then Stu left, and then Matt and Honest Ash and I had the floor, just the three of us. And I said to everybody that my goal for my birthday on Monday, my 40th birthday, was to hit 10,000 followers on X. And that night, you all made it possible for me. So I just want to say thank you so much. I did hit 10,000 followers that night on X. And it's growing. Cool. So thank you to you all for doing that for me as well.
Yeah, X is a lot harder to grow on.
It is.
Like get followers.
It is. That's why 10,000 is That's why 10,000 is such a milestone for people, is because of how hard it is to grow on X organically without paying for your friends.
We can't all have daddies like Ben Shapiro and Josh Hammer.
Yes.
Daddy, buy my friends for me. Yeah, I finally made it to 5,000. So I'm halfway there, which is pretty cool. Rachel, thank you for the jewels. And then I wanted to get here to Lena. Hi, Matt and Tucci. For both, are you aware of Ty's work, or Ty or Tay's work of "We Are Not Going to Mars," showing IR laser plus bullet hole on back of Charlie Kirk's head? Not seeing anyone talk about this, wondering why. He has done good work. Yes, I have. I just personally don't believe in that theory, just based on my eyes and my brain. But like I said, we don't all have to agree on the same theory, okay? Everyone is from their own life experience, from their own life, like their own personal knowledge and expertise, are going to see the same video and come to different conclusions, okay? And so we don't need to agree on every little thing about this. I think we agree on the main things, which is he wasn't shot with a 30-06, he wasn't killed by Tyler Robinson, and it wasn't a lone gunman that was radicalized by trans, furry, gay agenda, ideology. But aside from that, and that's why Matt has even said, like, the getting bogged down on, it's important. And many people are investigating the specific how, like John Bray's doing a lot of great work on that. Stu Peters brought John Bray on, how it was done mechanically, what technology and what was the mechanism of death or of murder is important. Okay. But also like the why. And that's what Matt and I were talking about tonight, which is this deeper spiritual component is very important to focus in on. We may never know the exact how, but I think it's going to be like JFK, and I don't want that to be. That's not me saying I'm giving up. We're not giving up on that. I just don't believe that the government is ever going to admit it. I don't believe people in power are ever going to prosecute themselves and their friends. Okay. And I don't believe they're ever going to fully release information that tells us the truth about all this. We still, what is it, 60 something years since JFK? We still don't have that. They're not releasing that. Trump said he was going to release it.
Yeah.
So
that was another lie to his base, to, I would say, our base now.
Yep.
Our America First base was that, yeah, it was time for us to know what happened to JFK. And Trump made that false promise to all of us, which also helped him get elected, etc. Even though I now think that elections are completely, if one thing that Trump was right about, elections are rigged. Okay.
Yeah.
And orchestrated. Okay. But they need still, for their dark magic to work, they need that power of the vote, of you all putting that energy out there, because it only boosts them in their demonic spiritual presence. Plain and simple.
Well, not only that, but also they need you to believe that it's real.
Right.
They need you to believe that it's real.
Yes, absolutely.
So the moment that the jig is up, nobody votes. Do you know how can you steal an election when no one goes to vote? When nobody casts a vote? How can you say that we received 1 million votes when everyone's like, we're not voting and nobody votes? Like if we all knew for a fact that it was all rigged, like they wouldn't be able to steal it.
Yeah, I'm not voting anymore. I don't want blood on my hands anymore.
Yeah. I think
I hate to say that as an American to people. It bugs me that I have to say this to the American people right now. But voting is BS. It doesn't count, and what Matt just said is absolutely true. and it's unfortunate. And I really can't believe I'm saying this, but
Well, think about this, you guys. If it doesn't matter if the left, like if it's a Democratic administration or a Republican administration, then what's the point in voting, right? If they're just two sides of the same coin, okay, and that there's really an invisible uniparty, hidden structure behind both of those parties, it really doesn't matter if the left or the right gets elected. No matter what, their candidate is the number one candidate on the left and the number one candidate on the right. So no matter what, they win, we lose, and the country ends up going down in their direction to their desired end either way. So, I mean, even if you go to vote, like, look at what happened with Trump's, you guys. Like, we thought we were going to vote someone in that was going to represent us, and look at what happened. So that just show you it doesn't affect change. They're not representing us.
no, they're not. They're not. And the collapse of the two-party system is happening right before our eyes. And I will continue to sound like a broken record on this subject. And right versus left does not matter. It doesn't, and it never did. And they're all part of the white and the black chessboard pieces on the chessboard, of the floored tiles, I should say, the tiles. So on the chessboard.
Matt,
Yes.
you just jumped up to 2,640 subscribers.
2,640. Woo! Thanks, guys.
Yeah. And here, I'll read this right here. Jane, just sub to you, Tootsie. I've been suspended from X since 2021. Oh, probably talking about COVID and stuff. So I can't help there. I think you're both great. Also, a Candace and Barron diehard, 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so awesome. Thank you guys for the support
Thank
from
you.
Matt.
Thank you, y'all. Really. And I want to say that, as a whistleblower for TP Action, for those of you who are just tuning in and want to know, like, who am I? My background is I came out as a whistleblower on the Stu Peters show in January, who Stu helped get me a small following on X as well. And then I continued to release information, piece by piece. And that's what led me to this interview with Matt, 4 shows ago, I think, or 4 times now that we've done
4
this
times
together.
ago. Yep.
And I've done some political work too. I also ran for political office in Arizona. And that's why I do have the wisdom and the knowledge of putting all of this together, is because of my experience and involvement, not just at TP Action and TP USA, but somebody being around these nefarious, demonic people that I've seen firsthand of what these people are capable of. And it's just like my friend who went through the Bohemian Grove situation. They can't control me. They can't control certain people. So what they do is they'll discredit you. They will never allow you into their club. And no, I'm here to say, if you think you can vote your way in and make change, I'm sorry, you can't.
Yeah. I wish it wasn't true, but I mean, just look at the track record, and to your part of that they tried to slander and discredit you. Yeah. Look what they've tried to do to you, what they've tried to do to Mitch Snow. If we've look at the last time that we voted someone in that was going to affect change and actually do something positive. Well, the last time that happened was JFK, in my opinion. Look what they did. Even Charlie was questioning the official narrative on JFK. Someone came up and spoke to him at an event and said that Israel was behind it. And he goes, yeah, I don't mind entertaining that idea. I'd look into that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So.
he was that's the thing. He was starting to listen to his base.
Yes.
And that's what you should do, is listen to your base. Okay. Because you may be the person who brings wisdom, and you're a great public speaker, and you help change the hearts and the minds of the conscience, not the conscious, which is what Erica Kirk is doing. She's reprogramming our youth and counter programming the consciousness of our youth, not the conscience, which is what Charlie was doing, complete opposite of Charlie. And oh man, I just lost my train of thought.
Wait, ask your community to remind you what you were thinking when you started that. My community always helps me out with that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. You know, that's oh man, it's been a long.
I hate it when that happens.
Oh gosh, I had it too.
To me all the time.
I had it so good.
Okay. Well, somebody might throw a comment in for you and remind you, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah," or it'll come back to you. Or if I see it in mine, I'll bring it up. Okay, we are to that part of the show that, and I'm going to have my father-in-law on. You don't have to stay for that part. That's going to be later. But we're to the part of the show. Oh, actually, this is what I wanted to show you guys. I'm not going to play it right now, but just to let you guys know, this guy, I forgot to mention it earlier. So this last week, after the preliminary hearing, the judge ordered for the prosecution and the defense to go and then start writing up their briefs, right? Their final argument as to the defense, their position on whether or not, they believe that, there's enough for probable cause, and their arguments against the prosecution, and the prosecution filing their argument that they've met probable cause and that this needs to go to trial. Well, the prosecution just filed it this last week. And then the defense is going to read that, and then they're going to file theirs. All right. And then on September 1st is going to be like 4 hours of oral arguments. Right. And then after that, the judge will decide on whether or not it goes to trial. And so if you guys want a good breakdown of the filing that the prosecution did, this guy is called Reasonable Doubt and Robert Goivea Esquire. He did a great breakdown of this whole thing. And watch, I'll just play a minute of it and you can just hear.
Cause in the prosecution of Tyler Robinson, saying the case must be bound over from this status, put on a full path to trial where litigation will continue, new evidence will ultimately come out, we'll get expert witnesses validated and more. But they say we've met the low burden right now at this time. It's only probable cause, and based on what we presented and based on what the defense presented, you should carry this forward and send this onto the trial track. Now, of course, the defense will file their own brief and their own response. And when they do, we'll go through that as well and give both sides the benefit of the doubt so we can entertain their arguments and then find where the truth lies ultimately at the end. But here's what the government is saying. The prosecutors in the state of Utah versus Tyler James Robinson, the alleged Charlie Kirk assassin, may he rest in peace. Here's their memo in support of the bind over. They say, all right, listen, Judge Graff, after taking evidence at the 5-day hearing from July 6th to the 10th, this court, acting as magistrate, asked the parties to send in this brief. And here it is. This is likely as straightforward a bind over decision as this court will ever see. Opening strong. After admitting to several
I'm only going to let him read this first paragraph. It's just a couple lines and then that's it.
Including his roommate and romantic partner, that he assassinated Charlie Kirk at UVU on September 10 in front of approximately 3,000 eyewitnesses, Robinson then surrendered to law enforcement for that very crime. Now, these admissions, along with others, establish probable cause to support most of the elements in the charges. Like that alone. The admissions are damning, they say, and so that's enough. But we're also going to add in DNA testing, surveillance video, eyewitness testimony, and those things buttress those other elements and demonstrate probable cause to support the remaining elements of all the various crimes. So you should bind over Robinson for trial on all counts. Here,
and then he goes into the facts. No surprise there that the prosecution is saying that they've met all elements for probable cause. You should bind over Tyler Robinson and it should go to trial. But I found it pretty interesting that all the things, well, it is their case. So obviously they're going to reference the things that we saw during the preliminary hearing. They think, the prosecution thinks, and this guy wasn't, the language he was using wasn't him. He's like reading it from the prosecution's point of view. So he's not in agreement with them. You can watch the rest of it and you'll understand that. But the prosecution is saying that just the admissions of guilt alone is enough to go to probable cause. Just remember, they never showed us that Tyler Robinson actually confessed to the parents. They never showed us that the parents said that he confessed to them, or that the parents ID'd him through any of the surveillance footage, right? They also never presented any verified metadata or verification that those text messages to Lance Twiggs were from Tyler Robinson, or the Discord chat was authored by Tyler Robinson. And that the only other confession that occurred was told to us by Lance Twiggs, that when Tyler came home and was like so riddled with guilt that he was pacing the house, and that he confessed to him, and that he said he wished he hadn't done it. That's just Lance Twiggs saying that. There's no proof of any of that. Literally, you just have to trust him, bro. So, no, I don't think that in and of itself was enough. Like, dude, if this does, I mean, this is so scary. That the elements of this case that they say is enough for probable cause means that literally you better hope that you're never near some sort of incident where they like end up framing you for it. So that's just,
yeah. Well, I mean,
crazy.
and we all know, I think that's why they chose that day, that very day at UVU, and why they chose Utah to pull this off is because hearsay is admissible, is allowed in court during a prelim.
Yeah, in Utah, yep.
So they could say, yeah, Tyler Robinson's parents said this, said that. Of course they can, because it's allowed in. State of Utah is, I mean, the whole country is corrupt, but it's the state of Utah is different. Real different.
Yep. And that's kind of what like stuck out to me. So there's a lot of different things in Utah. So I do think it's obviously a state of the country, like it's Utah, but really if all key individuals in the state of Utah, like in government positions within different institutions, and then the LDS Church, where literally pretty much controls the entire state, their ability to control everything that happens there is on another level. Okay. And, you know, the fact that they could enter into the prelim, a recorded, you know, interview and play that. That's why the defense didn't want them to do that, because the defense didn't get to cross-examine Lance Twiggs to determine whether or not his testimony could withstand cross-examination, because it wouldn't. Okay. And I don't think they're going to bring him into the actual trial. I think they'll just play the video again. You know, it's insane. Oh yeah, and that, like what is it? Carry. You can just you don't even have to. I don't think it's concealed carry only. I think, but yeah, like weapons were allowed on UVU because UVU is a college campus and adults have the right to bear arms, and so guns are allowed on that campus. And it's an outdoor event. So, I mean, it's another, that's why like everyone started brandishing their sidearms after it went down. Like there was just, plainclothes officers, but there was also civilians there that had their sidearms that busted them out. The local police seem to be corrupt. A lot of the people that were put into key positions at Timpanogos, the medical examiner, the FBI field office out there was just put in place within the year before. Yeah, it had to be Utah. It had to be, and it had to be the menorah. You know, Erica Franze has connections there. Go ahead.
Quick question, or real quick. Project Nexus US on my chat says they won't allow hearsay in the actual trial.
Correct. Only
if it does go. So I just want to confirm that. I want everyone to know that yes, it's allowed in the prelim, but yes, Project Nexus is correct. It's not allowed in the trial. But the reason why they did it this way, to have that prelim, of course, because that's just standard court procedures, is to have a prelim. But this was to, again, the mind war, the mind trickery, get people, you know, involved in this hearsay so it sticks with them. So that's all they see when we head into trial. That's all the public sees when we head into trial is, you know, the evidence, the mountain of evidence, blah, 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 blah. Didn't you hear what they said about Tyler Robinson's parents and what the parents said and all that? That's just another form of this mind war. But Project Nexus, thank you for bringing that up. Appreciate
Correct. But a couple things. It's in the official record, so it's there, right?
Right.
Jurors will be informed about these proceedings that happened before they were selected, but also all potential jurors in the state of Utah were watching this trial at home. And the prosecution knew that and knew that a way to get this information in front of them without having to subject Lance Twiggs to cross-examination was to enter it into the prelim, which in other states you can't do that. And now, well, all the potential jurors most likely already watched it all and saw it, and now it's in there and you can't get it out. So it was just another way of sneaking it in. Thank you so much, Rachel, for the 2 jewels. Thank you for the 100 jewels. And then we have a comment here from Sensible Musings. Did you see the photo of Tucker, Joe Kent, Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene? I think at Tucker's third party, don't go to rallies for politicians, not American first. I haven't seen it. Did that come out today? I haven't seen it. 2 jewels. Thank you for those, Michael Sullivan. All right. Well, I played that. Now I have this. This we didn't get to. Wait, I started this. Let me see.
Matt, I'm going to go grab some water real quick. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead. This is where we ended off last time. Let me see. How far did I get? Right. I think we got to like right here. All right. Let me wait. Hold on. I know I haven't pulled it up yet, so just hold on. Let me go right there. All right. Let me put this on the screen. All right, you guys. We are to the part of the episode where we're going to play some Charlie Kirk clips, and then my father-in-law is going to phone in at the very end, and he's going to make a guest appearance. So you want to stay tuned for that. But if you haven't done so already, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Here we go. We got our Charlie Kirk moment.
Free speech on campus today? Without a doubt. And it's disproportionately targeted at conservatives, libertarians, Trump supporters, and you name it. There's a disproportionate amount of people at the top that are targeting conservatives, blocking speakers that they disagree with, and they're advancing an agenda that, quite frankly, is very far to the left. See, look how popular Trump is on your campus. How does that make you feel? That's not comedy. That is a 5-alarm fire for Kamala Harris, because she's probably going to lose Pennsylvania. I founded Turning Point USA to tell young people in America that there's a better way than big government and old school corruption. Who is the party of youth and diversity? We are the party of youth and diversity, not the Democrats. Our whole philosophy at Turning Point USA is that the left has been winning far too much for the last 40 years, and we're going to go where conservatives have really been losing the last couple decades and making sizable gains. And you see that with what we've been able to do on campuses. And I think long term, that's going to be one of the most important legacies at Turning Point USA, is when you start to see real sizable change in the next generation. Come up to the mic. Come up to the mic. Come up to the mic. Since you're so smart, show the world how smart you are. We'll give you our mic, not your bullhorn. So come on up. They are not going to let this guy get reelected without the most brutal, drawn-out fight. We're going to have the tech companies getting involved. Yeah. The media is going to get worse than ever. They're going to be taking down Twitter accounts left and right, videos on YouTube. They are going to be coming after us. They are going to be following us in the middle of the night. They're going to be breaking into our houses. You think I'm joking? They are going to be violent. That you will not be able to walk the streets of the MAGA hat without your physical health be put in jeopardy.
Name 2 times where you
Show me you're losing without telling me you're losing. I do not believe that we should be teaching children that white people are bad because of the color of their skin. I think that's repulsive, and it's wrong.
That is fine as a belief.
No, that's what CRT is. Last question. Does it bother you that there was no primary?
No, it doesn't. No, but and it's for a practical reason. And not like I would have preferred there have been a primary, but primaries are very expensive. I would have preferred. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have liked it. I'm just saying that I'm not making a huge issue about it.
So explain to me how the party of democracy can have a candidate that no one voted for.
Because it's within the rules. It's literally within the rules. Like, we can change the rules later if we want.
Of course, it's within the rules, but like no one voted for her. So how's that democracy?
Wait, let me ask you, Matt. You're a political, you're politically active and like savvy. I totally forgot about this, right? So talking about Kamala, because of what happened with Biden, right? There was no primary for her. They just made her the primary Democratic nominee, right? Oh, you're muted. There you
Right. Go. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. And there's a fine line. It's not really legal what they did. And I mean, even both the left and the right during that whole switch, the left felt cheated, won out of it. No, it's not a right thing to do. There should have been a primary, but no.
Right, because
but there was nobody else. We had Biden. I mean, nobody was going like him pushing through. But even though they took that away, they took the nomination away from Biden because Biden was originally nominated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nobody would have came forward, which I think it was all part of this grand master plan. Yes, we were so happy when Trump got in. I was ecstatic, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it was still just part of this whole grand master plan to usher in Trump for the second time.
Yeah.
All right. And politics, look, guys, I may be political, but there is so much convoluted legalese, terms, and laws in politics. Like, there's a reason why politicians have political advisors, because that question, if I had a political advisor, I would have said, well, let me talk to my political advisor about that. Really double talking. That's what politicians are set up to do. Yeah. Let me get back to you on that. And, and then move on to the next subject. But no, moralistically speaking, no, it wasn't right. The Democrats were cheated out of a primary, I believe. But that's just in my opinion as well. So don't take it for face value. But no, it's all orchestrated. It was all part of the grand master plan.
Yeah. I mean, how can you say that we live in a democracy when they just tell you who the person is? And if there's no one else running against her, and there's no other option for the left to elect or not elect, that's insane. But yeah, I agree with you that it didn't matter though to them, because like really it's not left versus right. There's this other invisible system behind it all that was already going to make sure that Trump got in.
Yeah.
For this right now.
Yeah. And again, to reiterate, like right versus left, it's done, guys. They're both part of the. If you can't get that out of your head, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not sorry. I feel bad.
Yeah,
for those that really want to play left versus right still.
Yeah,
because you're actually part of the problem.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I do believe there is a left and right, but the extreme left is those that run the left, like the elite. Like Gavin Newsom and all of them, and the right is like the neocons, the extreme right and the extreme left. I don't really believe they might have some actual citizens that they represent, but those are the extremes. The majority of us are closer to the middle with no representation. We're in the center, we're just right of center, just left of center, and there's nobody that represents us. And so when they are espousing these crazy leftists or crazy, far right ideals, it's the ones that control us that are doing that. So, yeah. Well, I sent you a text. Read it, and then you just let me know what you want to do. I'm going to play a little bit more of this while you do that.
Okay.
And this is why we're seeing Bobby Kennedy, Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard, people that are card-carrying Democrats.
I think this is the one where this is the pilot that flew Charlie's plane and was most likely the pilot that flew Erica because Erica was flown on that plane to UVU that day. Do you see him in the background? Pretty sure that's their private pilot.
Vote for Trump and voice support for Trump, because what's happening at the Democrat Party is this very sinister combination. It's a party of censorship, it's a party of war, a party of open borders that is against actual traditional liberal values.
I agree.
Donald Trump loved his nation so much so that he put all of his business empire on the line so that he would go and take a bullet for you to save America for your kids and grandkids. Well, I would say you need to understand the biblical role of the father. When it comes to your child, you are tasked to protect them both physically, spiritually, and emotionally, in really outside the house and obviously in other ways as well. Quality time is everything. You're not above any of the duties or the tasks or the roles. And it comes with a lot of responsibilities. And so, again, I speak very directly to young men. Erica's the, young woman outreach part of this. But young men need to be talked this way, actually, because they say, oh, I want to be a dad. Like, really? Are you earning enough money? Have you done the right work? Have you asked for a raise, asked for promotion, got up earlier, stayed up later to make sure your family does not have any financial pressures or issues? Because here's the one thing I have found. Once you have kids, there is this primal thing that comes into you where if you think you have worked hard before, when you have to go feed a child and provide for a family, you are willing to go to the ends of the earth and push yourself in ways that you never thought possible.
And I can tell you I'm super blessed. I have the best wife in the world. We have an amazing life. Building a family is the coolest thing ever. And my prayer for all of you is that you one day can do that. That's so cute. It's honestly the most joyful thing. And I've had some pretty amazing experiences. I've been very, very blessed. Very lucky, you could say, but very blessed is the word I would use.
Of course, Jesus. We need to celebrate, embrace, platform, and sometimes, if necessary, subsidize getting married and having children. We are not having enough children in this country.
Well, that's true. We're below replacement rate, and if each couple only has 2 kids, we're staying the same, right? Each couple, if they each have, they have 2 kids total, you're just replacing the mother and father in the society. In order to be above replacement, you have to at least have a minimum of 3 per family, which I'm a bad representation of that because I just have 2 kids. But when you're newly married and 4 weeks married and you find out you have twins, I mean, it's a pretty exhausting journey. So we were good at the 2.
It is. And, this is something I was thinking about. Man, God, boy, do I miss Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I'm turning 40 and I don't have kids. And I don't know if I'm ever going to have kids. I don't know if this is what God wanted for me to do this mission. But what I will do though for people is, we do have to have more children. We do have to start procreating more in this country, and we cannot fall victim to, kind of like what China's, I don't know. That's a tough subject for me, but I want kids, but I don't know if my mission deems that right now. Does that make sense, Matt?
Yep. I'm trying to find, somebody notified me that there was an outstanding super chat I missed. But all of them are grayed out. Oh, this might have been it, right? Okay, Erica Franzfey was already away from the Catholic. No, I read that one. I read that one. Hold on, I read that Trump is Jesus, right? In Truth Social Post was actually, yeah, I read that one. Let me see. First ever membership, super chat. Yeah, I read that. Zamet, I read that. Yep. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure. Time to bring back. I read that one too. Late on the topic. Ezekiel have taught. I read that one too. Yep, we read this one. Go Max Crisis King. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to make sure. Oh, is it? Nope, that's one I have. Did I not do this one? No, that's so sorry, guys. I'm just trying to find which one they could have been talking about. We did the cat fakes the limp. Love your show, Matt. You guys are so right. We did that one. We did X-Murd X. Always thought the Rode mic didn't malfunction. We read that one. Yep, that tagged you on X1. Hi, Matt M and Tucci. Are you? I read this one. Right? Not seeing anyone talk. We read that one. Yep, the laser. All right. I'm pretty sure I got them all, guys. Just subbed. That was the one that about you. She just subbed to you. Did you see the photo of Tucker and Joe Kent? I did that one. You guys, there is no outstanding super chat. There's only this one right here. Then just came in. Proudly anti-Zionist here. Antiseptic even. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, you guys. Yeah, I'm good. I think my dad fell asleep waiting for me to tell him it was time to go. I texted him. We'll have to get him on next time. He's not responding. I don't know. All right, you guys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today and joining Matt on Matt's show, Truth Over Paradigm. If you guys haven't done so, please hit the like and the subscribe for both of us and write a comment in the video after it posts and hit those hype points. It helps us reach new people that haven't yet seen our channels. Matt, thank you so much for coming on again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Matt, for having me. And you all, I'm going to rest up for about 30 minutes. And I know after Matt's show's ending, I'm going to give a shout out to Mystic Gypsy. She is going to be hosting a space on X this evening. And I'll be over there. And I know Matt's going to be over there too. And, you know, I know a lot of people on YouTube a lot of you all are not on X, but X is a great information source. It's a wild, wild west ride over on X,
Yeah,
but Mystic's spaces are really welcoming and very professionally done. So please, if you're over on X, head over to her space tonight. She'll be doing that after we get off the show.
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
Yeah. And
then
yeah,
she
thank
put
you.
this up here too. Mystic says, follow Matt Tucciarone on X. Here's his link on X. Look at Mystic is always on top of it. And then she had mine on there for the Black Line Brief. You just click on that, and that's how you follow us on X. All right, you guys, that is it for today. Stay tuned for more. Oh, I need to click on that or else it won't go away. Sorry. Dang it. Where'd it go? Oh, no. It's just going to be there now. Oh, no. Wait, if I do this one, now I can make it go away. There we go. Stay tuned for future stuff for Matthew Tucciarone, Tutsi, and Matt McKim on the Black Line Brief. We are going to be doing more stuff down the line. We're working things out. We're in discussion of how that'll be. But yes, we are talking about the future. So stay tuned for that, you guys. We'll keep you posted. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for another great episode. God bless you guys. And I'll see you guys either tomorrow or Monday. All right. Bye, Matt.
Bye. Take care, guys.
Bye,
God
guys.
bless.